Hello.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
So, we're back with episode 4. I don't know if any of you noticed the title, but I tried to make it a ploy on the Star Wars title.
Yes, no, I noticed that. I liked it a lot.
That's nice.
So, we have with us again Talktopus, aka Roy, top left. Morgan, aka Mapsio Morgan, top right. Melissa, aka Sugar Millie, bottom left. Myself, Teal Beersy, aka Shroud. And then our guest for this week is Eric, or OMGItsEric on Twitch.
Hello. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. You know, I'm stuck in LA traffic today, and that was really fun. And also, gas is like $4.50, so that's fun.
Is it really that expensive up there?
Yeah, it's so expensive.
All the way on whatever tank of gas you had.
Yeah, I was like 14 miles left. I was like, do I go get gas for $4.50 or do I just go home? And so I decided to just go home.
I think you made the better ploy.
Yeah, I mean, I have 10 miles. I have a leeway, so if I need to get gas later, I can make it to a gas station. I just can't go anywhere.
Yeah. And this will save you money that way, because it's like now you can't go out and like buy some shit or.
Exactly.
Yeah, not having gas saves you money. It's a high-level economic strat.
And then I can just tell people I can't go hang out with them because I don't have gas.
Yeah.
Or money.
Oh, that is a satisfying excuse, actually. Just be like, oh, I can't do it. I gotta stay indoors.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have enough gas. It's not the right time right now. And I don't know if you guys noticed the new overlay. This is the guest one that I made.
I did. I love the new overlay.
Yep, I like it.
10 minutes
That's nice.
beforehand.
Way to go, dude. Really pulling that one out of your butt, dude. Last minute. I like it, dude.
Everything I do is always last minute. I don't ever do anything advanced.
True.
Okay. All right, AJ,
So
for one, that's what you come in with.
So first of all, let's say hello to Paka and Walt and AJ, who have joined us, who are aggressively on time. Paka was here like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, she was.
We appreciate the dedication.
Yeah, we appreciate the dedication because
we can't even match the dedication.
Yeah,
like it's more dedicated.
We
than
couldn't
we
even
are.
start
Like,
on the exact time that we're supposed to start, let alone having people come in and like wait on us.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes you just gotta keep them on the fence, man.
Yeah, you gotta be like fashionably late. You can't always be on time because like if you're
also,
always on time,
Jesus, how's it going?
You look like a nerd.
Good to see you
Hi,
again.
Zeus.
See, if people are on time and you're late, then people have something to anticipate. So
Exactly.
this works out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then we had to switch it up because we can't always be late all the time. Or else people will just like start rolling in late all the time.
One day you'll be 30 minutes early. One day you'll be 10 minutes early. One day you'll be like 5 hours late. It's just you got to keep them on their toes.
We do. We've been changing up the days of the week. That's been one of our key strategies for keeping things interesting. Is we've been doing this on a different Like we said, it was only going to be Fridays, and then we had to change that, and we have to change it like 4 weeks in a row.
That wasn't really a thing that we planned. That was just something that had to happen, or else
we can say we planned it.
We would have had one,
Yeah, for sure.
and then we would have gone for 4 weeks, and then we would have randomly came back and been like, "Hey guys, yeah, we totally didn't just disappear for a whole month."
Yeah, we can't take a break. We cannot take a break.
The show keeps going.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Of course.
Okay, so I don't know how many of you in here know Eric. I know Walt does because he's met him. I know that because I was there. Zeus.
Wait, what was that like?
Oh, Walt. I don't know. Walt's like the chillest guy ever. Because like
wanna
every
hear
time
about
we
Walt
asked him
meeting
to do
Eric.
something,
Yeah.
he was just like, "Yeah, sure, I guess."
We'd be like, "You want to go get a beer, man?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And then he would drink like 5 beers within like 10 minutes, and we're just like, "Whoa." He's like, and he wouldn't be drunk, or he would be drunk, and he just very well.
Do you
couldn't
have
tell.
high tolerance, Walt? I think this is the first I'm hearing.
I
about
feel like
this.
Walt does have a high tolerance,
Well,
but
in Sweden,
Thick Swedish blood.
yeah, in Sweden, the alcohol content for beers is like drastically more than what we saw.
Drink it to keep like warm in the winter, probably.
see, he does.
Hey Zeus.
I usually just drink 7% beer, and I'm like, "This is it. I'm solid. I'm good to go."
So then I'm done.
Hey, was Walt meeting Eric the same day that
Yeah, this was
met
for
Eric for the first
TwitchCon
time?
last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we all met him at the same time, and then we got Korean food with him. He went and got Korean food with us. Surprisingly, he didn't hesitate. He was just like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." He had just known us for like 10 minutes. He had just known us for like 10 minutes, and who knows? We could have abducted him. We could have taken him to a nondescript location. But you know what? He
Could've
decided to
kidnapped
go.
him.
Okay.
He never knows.
And after that, we've just been such great friends.
Yeah, and he's even coming out again for
Oh yeah, for BlizzCon.
Yeah,
He's coming out for BlizzCon.
which is next month. So
Oh damn! Hopefully this BlizzCon's better than the last one.
Yeah.
At least for Diablo.
No, I'm sure it will be. I mean, at this point, they have to announce something for Diablo because it's been way too long, and like, I don't think they want to announce more features for the mobile game because that'd just be a shit show.
I mean,
Yeah,
after
yeah.
last year, I can just imagine that like everyone's like, all right, we're not talking about the mobile stuff anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I
We
can
actually have later on in the show. We actually have an article about that.
yeah,
And I can
yes,
actually
yes,
get
we do.
excited about something Diablo now that I'm playing it.
Yes,
I don't
that's
play
right.
mobile.
Yeah.
So I don't get as excited for mobile games, to be honest.
I don't
Me
think
neither.
anybody
Yeah.
does.
Not even close.
And they're gonna announce Diablo 4 exclusive to Apple Arcade, the paid subscription service for iPhones only.
People in chat, are you guys heavy mobile gamers? Do we have a crowd of people who actually like actively play besides Pokemon Go? Because that doesn't count. Like actual
honestly,
mobile gaming.
It doesn't count. Like, you really don't count as a mobile gamer if you only play 1 or 2 mobile games.
Yeah.
Every
like,
once in a while.
You need to own like 4 different kinds, and like you need to be like grinding that shit.
Yeah,
all
like,
the
do you
time.
get into it? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Because I feel
Like,
like
if you
everybody's
really-
a mobile gamer if you define it too broadly.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
people playing like the doctor's office and shit like that when they're waiting. Like
Yeah, or like what are those like little games like Scoops and
Yeah.
Subway Surfer?
Like
you
that,
know?
Candy Crush, yeah.
Candy
Saturday.
Crush.
yeah, there you go.
Temple Run, all those old ones.
Mhm.
Like those.
I feel like you have to be willing.
Forgot
to
about
invest-
Temple Run. Do you guys ever play Crazy Taxi?
Crazy Taxi.
Crazy
I think so.
Taxi
Maybe.
I played Crazy
on the
Taxi on
phone,
like
anybody?
not on the phone.
I played it on like N64 and stuff.
I played it on like an
older-
arcade machine.
Yeah,
like,
it was like the older.
I gotta
games
see what
then.
exactly it was, because I played some kind of like taxi game. Not a whole lot, but
Crazy Taxi was just like delivering people to like where they wanted to go, and it, like you could do it. In any
okay, yeah.
crazy
So
way you
I don't
wanted
think I
to.
played that one.
Best bathroom game.
This is actually the first time I've met Eric. Although, like, I think how long have you and Trev known each other?
I've known Trevor for like
4 years.
at least 4 years. I met him in 2015, like in person.
Yeah.
He-
I
But,
watched
like,
him eat
I-
pizza. That's
yeah,
the first
that's
encounter.
true.
You watched
Yeah.
him eat. Were you like a competitive pizza eater?
No,
Like,
he was just like
No,
getting
no.
lunch at work, and
So this is what happened. All right, so like him and Ash were like hanging out, and then like Ash randomly asked me like, "Oh, how long are you gonna be? When's your lunch?" I'm like, "Oh, it's at this time." And then I'm helping out a customer, and then I just see this really tall Asian guy standing to the left of me, and I'm like, "It's kind of weird." And then I finished talking to the person. I'm like, "Oh, Trevor," and he's like, "You're gonna go to lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "Are you gonna get anything?" He's like, "No, I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna watch you eat." I'm like, "All right." And so I bought this pizza, and he sat there for like 15 minutes and just watched me eat pizza.
Wow, you know someone's known Trev for a long time when they call him Trevor.
No, well,
That's
look,
that's the sign.
my thing was that I just come from lunch with Ash, so I wasn't gonna eat again while meeting up with you.
Right, so you're not just like a creep who watches.
Yeah, no,
people
I
eat,
wasn't
you're
just some
saying.
weirdo who was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch you eat." Like that's.
I don't know, man. You can't trust people on the internet nowadays. Maybe he is.
No, I don't sit there and watch people eat. I don't even like food in general.
He's a creep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
No, but Rory, you've met Eric kind of because he played Overwatch. Or no, I don't know. Were you? I'm sure you. Were you there when he played Overwatch with us?
I don't
I don't-
think Rory was.
I
I
don't
know I
remember.
was. I
Was it-
remember
was it
Because
during the
Eric
move,
Eric
or-
resolved the whole gondola controversy.
Yes.
Eric
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
was during my
right,
move.
right.
Yeah, that's while I was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I did
yeah,
watch
so-
that. Oh, so I've like heard your voice because I've seen that clip because
Yeah.
it's like
Yes.
hilarious.
That's still one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that was funny.
Sorry, there's like someone going through my trash can. And it's really loud.
Someone that's kind of
Complete stranger?
Yeah, that's a little
Oh,
odd.
hey, so my neighbors have been doing this thing where like they've been like cleaning out their garage and they just put a shit ton of furniture in my parking spot, so I have to like finesse my way into my parking spot, and it's like super annoying because it's so much crap that I can't just move it. It's just there permanently, so I'm just like,
But like, hold up. Furniture's not supposed to go in a parking spot.
I know it's not.
Like where? Like I don't understand. Like why?
Why
don't
are they
want
not
to
using
put it somewhere
the parking
else?
spot
Like,
as intended?
Well-
Like, do
well,
they not
'cause
own a car? Or?
The trash can is like, so we have we have like a parking spot right here. There's garages right here, and then there's a little slit where we put our trash bin. They've been overflowing it into where I park, so I have to like try to like back into the spot, or else I will not get into it, and it's super annoying.
oh boy,
Yeah.
that's awful.
I'd call
Well,
the
it's-
landlord
it's
and be like,
pr-
these fucking people are.
Dude, I've lived here long enough to know our landlords don't care about anything, so
Ah.
so I just don't even try. Usually when when my aunt complains, they're like, "Yeah, cool, we're gonna raise the rent." You complain about something, it's been about a year since we raised your rent. All right, it's time. That's usually how it goes.
Oh damn.
I guess
It's nice
we
to know
have
someone else is
penalty
dealing
for,
with apartment troubles right now. Damn,
for,
Jesus.
for bugging you.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, speaking
California.
of, did you get the hole in your ceiling fixed?
Yeah, it's in the process. It's like it's so they've like put like plaster or whatever over it. I apologize, I'm not like a handyman. I don't know about construction and all of that. But like they put like some sort of plaster over it, and they're like it's gonna take some time to dry. So just like shower with the door open for the next like 48 hours or whatever, 24 hours. I'm like okay.
Alright, I guess.
Not crazy about that idea, but I guess we gotta do what we gotta do.
What's with these Canadian ceilings just falling down all the
I know.
time?
So
Honestly,
this
yeah.
happened to
What is
me.
it?
It happened to Tiff.
Happened to
It's
Ted,
only
I know,
Canadian
just like-
streamers. That is what I have resolved. It happened to
But-
Tiff, happened to Rory. Talked to
Yeah.
Caroline about it, and she just goes, I would have thought like a little bit more about moving in with him if I knew that this was gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like warn
I'm
other
bad luck.
Canadian streamers. Should we like warn Mop that her
Warn
Well,
ceilings
no,
are
like
falling?
that's the thing though. Like
Check your ceilings.
I don't know how many other people that's happened to, but just so happens to be the two people we know in those two specific buildings.
Yeah,
Dangerous,
exactly.
Like, do you know the odds of that happening?
Yeah, who knows how many others it must have happened to get that kind of sample size. But yeah, things are sort of well in hand now. They cleaned up my bathroom for me, which was very nice of them. Because there was like drywall everywhere, and it was like falling down while I was like taking a shower, and I'm like, oh boy, do I not want to die like this. drywall to the head.
Now we know the price you pay for universal healthcare is just cheaper roofs.
That's what it is. It's cheaper. That's the cost saving measure.
You cracked the code, Eric.
The government secretly they figured it out, dude. It's the universal healthcare. Dude.
Rory, this is what you do
my
now.
favorite conspiracy
You
Why do you think my roof is so good?
You apply to be a life insurance like person, and then you go around calling people, and you're like, example you give is, you should get this before the roof collapses in on your head.
Oh yeah,
When
exactly.
you're taking a shower, plaster could fall on your head, you know?
Yeah,
Forget
that's
the
it,
one
yeah.
that you heard. Was like,
Could
what
be-
if you fall down in the cabin in the thunderstorm? Like that's that's
Yeah.
never gonna happen. The roof collapsing on somebody's head, far more likely.
Eric, what happened was I used to get these calls from these like life insurance people trying to sell me life insurance.
Okay.
And it's like I think what it is when you hit 25, they just start selling you life insurance all over the place. And they kept coming with these creative ways for me to die. They were like, you could be at the cabin and there's a thunderstorm and you fall down the stairs. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
Fall down in a cabin.
have to
And like,
happen
secondly,
there.
like,
What if you're trimming your facial hair and then all of a sudden you fall and stab yourself in the neck with your
Yeah,
razor?
exactly. That's actually more likely, right? It's
Yeah.
gotta be like.
Like thunderstorm it's causing you to trip down the stair. Like it'd be scary. I don't know if it'd cause you to trip down your stairs.
Yeah, it seems.
like,
Yeah,
who's
that's gotta be a
who's
stretch.
that alerted that like they hear thunder and there's like whoa, and then like they're I lost balance, and they're like tumbling down the stairs.
I bet
Actually
you there's
heard-
someone that gets paid lots of money just to write up a script of creative ways to die, and I'm like, this is this week's script.
It's you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what it
yeah, you
is?
switch it up every
Do you
time.
remember that show, Million Ways to Die? It's just those people left over. They're just like selling these bits of information to life insurance people. Be like, here, you can use this one as a way to die, and then like someone
That's
else
how they've
will follow.
adapted to the new economy. is
Exactly,
To
like,
sell,
as far as
sell
I know, that-
pitches to life insurance agents.
That show is not around anymore.
God, that show was so bad, but also really good at the same time.
So we'll see
That
how it goes
game-
right now.
That game was Dumb Ways to Die. Did you guys ever play that game on
I
mobile?
didn't play that, but the first time I ever heard that song, like because they did like a Dumb Ways to Die song, I actually first heard that at OhioCon, and it was at this panel that I like to go to called Anime Hell, and I'd never heard it before, never seen anything like it before, and I was like, "What is this song? What the hell?" That was the first time I ever heard it. An Animu convention.
Oh yeah, Eric, you're good.
That song
I-
is really
I,
catchy.
I
It
verified
is.
with Ash this morning that she signed your permission slip, and I got verbal
Oh, thank
permission
you.
from
I need to-
her that you were able to come on and.
Okay, thank you, because I need to make sure my guardian knows that I'm in a safe place.
She just told me there was one condition, as long as you don't make yourself look like an ass. And I was like, I can't promise you that, but we'll try.
I mean, I already kind of look like an ass because I have a mustache now. So like, I'm already failing the first step. So,
I love the stash, by the way.
oh, thank you, I appreciate it.
I saw
It's
I don't know what you were doing, but like that entire week you were posting like selfies, and like I thought the first one was the best because you had like the full on like beard and stuff, and then like just as they progressed, I was just like, what's.
So I took the
going
first
on?
one, and then like the next day I took it with my old phone, and I was like, huh. And I just kind of kept doing it, and then I would switch phones every time I would, because I still have my old phone because I upgraded to the 11 Pro. So
Okay, okay.
I was like, I wonder if anyone would notice if I just kept taking a picture with my old phone and then my new phone, just out of curiosity. No one noticed. It was a stupid experiment. I was like, as soon as I was done, I was like, why did I even do this? Like, I just wasted a good like 10 minutes of my day for weeks. So it was pretty dumb. But it shows the progression because it's like beard, and then all of a sudden mustache, and then all of a sudden my hair disappears because I got a haircut at some point.
There's like a time lapse of like.
Put those pictures together, bam. But yeah, no, I usually I do the mustache, and like I want to keep it for a long period of time, but I get too lazy because my facial hair grows in really fast right here at the bottom. So usually after like 2 days, it starts getting really noticeable, and I'm just like, I'm so lazy to like shave it off, and so I usually just always have a beard. But I want to go the whole month of October without growing my beard back, and then November I can do the whole like no shave November thing and regrow my beard. But yeah, It's I look super Mexican. I look like my dad because my dad looks like this with a mustache. But it looks. At least I know what I'm gonna look like in the future because my dad has salt and pepper facial hair, and so that's what I'm gonna look like. I think that's kind of cool.
All right. So Rory, go ahead and post the one article for the. You can do either or. You can do the Overwatch one, or you can do the streaming subscription one.
Yeah, for sure. Let's, just because I think it's going to be shorter, let's actually start with the streaming subscription one.
Okay, I can actually do that.
Is this a PlayStation now? No. Something
I
else?
got it right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it right there?
Yep. So if you guys in
awesome.
the chat want to,
Yeah. Well, if
want
you guys
to
want to follow along, just go ahead and click on this.
that's gonna be the that's gonna be it right there.
Yeah, actually, so this is we've talked, I think, a number of times in this podcast about streaming services and
subscription based stuff.
yeah, and subscription based stuff, and because there's getting to be sort of quite a lot of it. If you have your Netflix and you have your America has Hulu, right?
Yes.
It was
And
Hulu.
then there's HBO. There's gonna be. I think you
Yes.
said there's a
Showtime.
TBS one or something.
The
Showtime. There's.
yeah, there's going to be a Disney one, of course.
Yeah, there's Disney Plus. There's
Apple Plus, Apple
Yeah,
TV
and
Plus.
DC has a subscription service now. And actually CBS has one, which is like hilarious.
Yeah.
But they do have one.
Yeah, isn't there
Yeah,
another
they
one
do
by
now.
NBC or someone like that? I forget. They just announced a different one. It was like
NBC, I think, is gonna do one, which I
Yeah.
think is
What? Just news or?
no
Episodes
it's
of
like
The Office.
Office, Parks and
it?
Recreation. I think is eventually gonna go there.
They're gonna get a bunch of
Probably-
people for those two shows alone.
Well, yeah. But
Also-
also any of the Michael Schur shows. So probably The Good Place and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Is that Michael Schur?
I'm
I
pretty
haven't
sure
watched
it's
any of
Michael.
that.
Eric,
Yeah.
your guardian.
Oh, the
Eric.
good. You
Hi,
haven't watched
Ash.
any of what, Millie?
I'm watching
Hi,
it.
Ash.
I don't know.
I'm trying not to make myself look
Okay, I'm
like
here.
an
Hi,
idiot.
Ash.
Millie, what have you not watched any of?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah, I think
That's
you'd
the
quite
one
like
with
it.
Terry
Right.
Crews,
I
right?
love that show. It's hilarious.
I mean, you got to wonder at a certain point when Netflix is going to run out of shows if all the TV channels that own the shows start making their own streaming services and putting their shows on their streaming services.
I feel like
What's left for Netflix? The original content?
I feel
Like-
like not every show or not every channel can do that in a way because like I don't think unless you're like monopolizing on like a certain like Disney for example, unless you're monopolizing on something like that or like the DC one, I don't think it's
Yeah.
worth it because I don't think you're gonna have enough fans of that show.
I
You'll
mean,
see.
I agree, yeah.
You'll see what's gonna happen is that they're gonna take like Hulu and Netflix and NBC and CBS and like the Disney Plus and everything, and they're just gonna bundle those all together and call it cable.
Yeah.
We're just gonna move it a full circle. It's just gonna be like it's like
It's getting to that point, and subscription services, they don't come cheap, and especially so that's just if you watch like TV and like movies, right?
Yeah.
So that's just the streaming, and that's not even all of them, right? There's Shudder if you love horror movies and stuff like that. There's Crave if you're, I don't know if they have Crave in America, but they definitely have it in Canada.
They do, yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay, yeah. It's it's the best way, the easiest way to get HBO in Canada, actually.
So you said Crave, and I immediately thought the cereal.
I've never heard of the Crave cereal, but I'll look into that too.
I think
Oh, it's
Crave is
another
like
cere-
KRAVE or something.
Oh, it's just one of those other cereals where like the cereal pieces are cannibals, like everything
it's
else
like,
for some
it
weird
was
reason.
like mini wheats kind of, but they like ate
Cannibals?
chocolate or something, and
I'm
I was like
serious.
chocolate filled mini wheats. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't like it. I bought it once, had one.
What is it, like,
bowl, and I threw it
I've never
away.
had it, so I have no idea.
Is it like cinnamon toast crunch or something?
Yeah,
They-
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is cannibalistic because they
Those
eat
ones
each
are also
other.
cannibalistic. What is it with like foods and being cannibals? Like what is
They're-
that about?
Listen, it's 2019 now. You can't be judging things.
Okay, they've been
or-
doing that since like 2012 though.
So if you also play games, you might have some subscription services there. Like maybe you have, your PS Plus subscription or your Xbox Live subscription or
I
whatever.
know Eric has the Game Pass. That's
So I have Game Pass Ultimate, and I think it's a great service. To be completely honest, people always make fun of it. I think it's because the way I feel about the whole console war thing is I think it's like kind of stupid to limit yourself to one platform because you're literally closing a door for yourself just because you want to swear allegiance to a certain platform.
Yes.
So people crapping on Game Pass, I think it's just dumb because it's like. It's a great model, I think. You for $15 a month, you get live and you get games on PC and on Xbox One, and you get all of their exclusives at day one. So I think it's like a fantastic service, to be completely honest. And I've been using it to play Gears. I use it to play live on my Xbox every now and then.
I think we talked about it last cast though, because we were saying that's I guess a service or something like an option for people that'd be better for like streamers or like people who can't really like commit to games or like
That's true. Yeah, because
put
you get the
money
drafts.
towards those games every year because they come out so fast.
Yeah.
So that gives them a chance to like try everything as opposed to like, oh, let me spend $60 and if I don't like it, then it's like I'm screwed.
How much is Game Pass with like? Because it's Game Pass was just like for games, right? Now the Ultimate is with with Xbox Live as well, right?
Yeah. So Ultimate's 15. That's PC. You get PC games, you get Xbox One games, and you get it live. I think it's $10 just for Game Pass for Xbox, and then it's $5 a month, I think, for PC Game Pass. So they have a PC one too.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's not
So
unreasonably
they're
priced.
separate ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 tiers.
There's just Game Pass, and then there's Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So just Game Pass just gives you the games, then Ultimate gives you gives you Game Pass plus Xbox Live. So that's not bad at all for that. I mean, if you really think about it.
Yeah, for that price point and like being able, it's kind of like the Redbox or like the GameFly for this generation because it like allows you to try multiple different ones and like test.
Yeah, and I
Tell you
feel
what you want, you know.
There is like an
Try something
extent
else.
to which like obviously I want games cheaper because like that helps me.
Yeah.
But it's also like if games are really good, paying money to own them, you know, in form.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying to people or to a company that made the thing that I love. So I'm also torn about that because it's like I feel like subscription models are really great for us.
Oh yeah, but it may impact the actual
developer.
developers.
Right, and so that part of it concerns me a little bit too.
Yeah.
Which I after thinking about it a little bit more, I was like, huh, we didn't really talk about that. It's like play are worth way more than $60.
But at the same time, I feel like if you do have a streaming service or like subscription service for games, people are more likely to spend money on microtransactions within the game, basically directly giving money to the developer.
Yeah, I can see that actually. Because really, if you think about it, I mean, you're paying like, say, if you were paying like $15 a month for something that's like GameFly, but more like Netflix, where you can just play whatever you want right away, for example. And you can just try out different things. Like you're only paying $15 a month, and you might like want like a skin or something in there. I probably like for me, for example, I probably would be okay with paying a little bit for something because I'm already just paying $15 a month versus. Now, like, at the same time, it does seem like it costs less versus, like, you're paying $60, then paying how much other money on top of that, right? But $15 a month sounds a lot cheaper, even though technically maybe isn't. But you are getting a lot more games along with that. But like, versus you paying $60 for just one game.
Well, I think there's also, like, behind the scenes, of course, there's, like, if you are selling... a game on some storefront or whatever, you're getting a certain amount of that money and the storefront is getting a certain amount of that money, right? Like, so if you want to sell on Steam, there's a cut that you as the developer get and there's a cut that Valve gets. But if, let's say, there's a lot of money coming in from this subscription service, like something like Game Pass, maybe companies that actually make the platforms would be more willing to have a generous revenue split with developers or something like that, right? Since it definitely is going to lead to extra revenue for them. Like the Epic Game Store, for instance, I hate it in my bones, don't get me wrong, but it does give developers a larger cut of the money, right? There's an undeniable feature about it, and they can make that guarantee because of all the money they make off of the Unreal Engine and off of Fortnite and things like that. now, well, I mean, one of the things about these services, I'm glad you said that you find Game Pass to be a really good service, because I've never used it, so I can't comment. But I have used PS Plus, and I think PS Plus is not good for the money that it's charging in terms of the value
Well,
added.
I feel like PS Plus isn't as worth it because at the time, because as we all know, PS3 was free for online. PS Plus was just an extra thing
That's
that
right.
you could add on to get free stuff.
Yep.
And they didn't really upgrade that when it was required to pay for PS Plus to play online with PS4.
Yeah, it never got better. In fact, you might argue it got worse.
It was
Not to
essentially the
mention,
same thing, and then it was just like, oh, well.
Well, not to mention, they, even though like PS3 and the Vita don't do as well now. The thing that's bad about it though is that they could at least contend with Xbox. You know, Xbox Live had like, I think it's 2 free games for Xbox One, 2 free games for Xbox 360, and it's the same price as PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus also removed 2 PS3 games and 2 Vita games from their lineup back in March. So now all they have,
they just
have PS4 games, and the least they could have done was added at least one more, at most, like, or at least what I think they should have done too. Or at least cut the price. Yeah, they should have
actually, and they actually, in fact, raised the price. It used to be $59.99 for a whole year, and now it's $69.99 for a whole year. And you're getting less than you were when you were paying $59.99 for it.
Yeah, and the PlayStation Store is still the slowest loading software on planet Earth.
Yep.
With all that,
they did tweak it though. It's better. Like the search system on the PlayStation Store used to be terrible.
It used to be
still pretty bad. It's
not amazing, but it's better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it went from like here to like slightly here. And like it's nowhere, shape, or form being good, but it's better than it was.
Yeah, and part of that too is like, you know, what else does Microsoft make? Bing? You know, not that any like human people use Bing, but it's still there and it still works as a functioning search engine. It's like, what else does Sony make? Sony make any search engines? No, and I guess they didn't hire anyone who did, because
it clearly shows
really rocky. But PlayStation Now is PlayStation's like gaming subscription service, and it's I believe all the games are streamed.
Yes,
right? Like it's entirely cloud-based.
That was their answer to backwards compatibility, I think.
Boy, is that a bad answer to backwards compatibility.
Oh, it was, for sure. No, like, I mean, I wouldn't exactly just call myself a PlayStation person, because I have everything. I have an Xbox, I have a 360, I have PS3, I have PS4. Like, I got them all. But I do play on my PlayStation more because of the exclusives. Like, that's just because of the games that are on the system. And I always got to give it up to Xbox. They kind of do. There's things that they do that I always find a little bit better. They have custom Xbox controllers, which I think is really nice. And then when it comes to the backwards compatibility, Xbox, and they can't make every single game backwards compatible, obviously. They have to get the rights again to be able to have that game, even though it's a 360 game, to be able to have it played on an Xbox One. So that's why not all games on 360 right now are backwards compatible. That, and also because there are some games that they can do a re-release for and then put it on Xbox One, sell it for a little bit more, which makes sense. But they started doing Xbox One or Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, and now they're even doing Xbox Original backwards compatibility with just the discs, and they allow you to do that, and I think that's super cool. Like, for no extra money. It was a free update and everything. All you got to do is just buy the games again if you really need to.
Yeah, and the cool thing with that is for like a handful of games, they actually upgraded them for Xbox One X2, so they would run at 4K, better textures and stuff like that. So they would update them. I think Oblivion was one of the games that they up-res to 4K on Xbox One, which was pretty cool.
Amazing game, one of the best games ever. Play it.
I've never played it actually.
What? Really? After all that about talking about how it was up-res?
Hey, maybe I'll play it one day because it's up-res, but yeah, it's just crazy because I remember when the whole like backwards compatible thing got announced, like PlayStation was like, it's not possible at all, and then Microsoft was like, yes, it is. It's completely possible. You just have to do it.
it's weird how often they do that to each other. Like if you'll remember back when the Xbox One was going to be like always online, it was going to have aggressive DRM.
Oh yeah,
PlayStation was like, oh, we're not going to do that. And
the
Yeah.
DRM.
you know,
thing,
Xbox
that
announces
was-
backwards compatibility. You'd want the PlayStation to come up and be like, okay, oh, fine. We admit it. Backwards compatibility is a great idea. But instead, they were like, hey, let's do PlayStation Now and pay for a lot of server space. The
If I remember right, I think it was before it was $45 every 3 months. They have now cut that to you can still do the like every 3 months payment if you want to. I think now it's $25, $10 a month. I think, which is significantly a lot better. That's a better value. And
what is this? The PS Now subscription
for PS Now? Yeah, yep.
Yes, yeah. So it's just been cut, which is really it's been cut.
I mean, I feel
effectively
like,
in half.
I feel like
Yeah,
this is
a
still
lot.
not the best program because like it's still a streaming based service.
I think
like-
from my knowledge, I don't know. I've been seeing conflicting kind of information, but apparently for PS4 games, it's apparently going to be like actual downloads. It's for PS3 and PS2 games that are apparently streaming, but I'm not 100% certain. I think that's what I
think
keep
that
hearing.
might be
Correct.
I mean that makes sense.
more sense to me
Yeah.
than anything else. It's actually one of the great things I thought about the original PS3 was that it was PS2 and PS1 backwards compatible.
Well, the first model was, yes.
The first model.
The original PS3, which was
Yeah.
the one that I got, the original like 60 gig model, the 1st one I had, and it seems like a real shame. Like, I think I'm not a big JRPG guy, but my understanding of the JRPG community, I'm dating a member of the JRPG community, is that the PS3 is like one of the best consoles for JRPGs around. And has this huge catalog across a bunch of different series, and it's like that's a viable market. Like the PS4, like if it played all those games, that would be a really great library of games to have. And not being able to play those except the ones that are explicitly converted over is super annoying. Maybe it makes up for it in like the money they get from remasters. Maybe that's what
I
they
was gonna
figure.
say. I feel like
They've been doing a lot for remasters now.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
They've even,
why they didn't do backwards compatibility. Because like
That I think that's a very
how many
good
games
reason,
you
actually.
know on Xbox versus PS4 that have been remastered for like
Crash, Spyro. They did a remaster for Tales of Vesperia.
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Shenmue.
yeah.
They've done like that's just some off the top of my head. I know there's tons.
yeah,
and tons more.
there's definitely more.
There's actually from what I've heard, if I remember right, I think now I don't know if it was at the if I don't think it was Gamescom where they were talking about it at, but like for the Game Awards, I guess this year they're gonna have a like best remastered or like remake category now, from what I've heard. I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah.
I heard a rumor about it, and I would not be surprised. It's probably a good thing that they're doing that since they come out with so many.
I feel
Shout
like
out to Colossus. There's another one.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
that
man.
category will really depend on
Final Fantasy VII.
how long ago the original game came out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the thing is, like there's remakes like, hey, like we made BioShock on the PS4 and now, and so like BioShock looks a little better and runs a little worse. But like then there's remakes like Spyro, which is like,
Yeah,
hey,
they
we took everything and we did it all from the ground up,
remastered it.
authentic,
Totally redone.
totally loyal to the original like spirit of the game. Like to me that's a way better, like even if you change more stuff, and I'm a stubborn old man when it comes to change, but
Yeah.
even if you change more stuff, it's like if you can do something like that, I think that's a lot more worthwhile than like upgrading some textures.
Link's Awakening.
And
you
then-
feel about Dishonored?
Sorry, hang on. Dishonored they do have a PS4 Dishonored, do they?
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause I think
Yeah, I
Beast
think
plays
that's on
it.
there.
Oh yeah, they did. I forgot they did that.
Yeah, they don't need that. It still looks great. The thing about like Dishonored, and it's like, it's such an art style game. It's like supposed to be kind of like an oil painting, and it's like that art style really ages well. Like you don't really need to upgrade that a whole lot. So I'd say that gets even less points. There That really bums me out when they do that with games that just like that'd be like if you're gonna make a new Team Fortress and like upgrade Team Fortress. It's like you don't need to. The whole point of Team Fortress is that it's goofy and looks bad. Like, bad. Like
Yeah. Well, that's like Walt was saying, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That one is not only being remastered, but is also being remade essentially because of the gameplay.
Yeah,
aspects.
that's like a difference between remaster and remake. So like Link's Awakening, that's a remake. Now Wind Waker, that's a remaster.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like
that's why
a remaster
that's why Spyro is remastered and not a remake.
Ni no Kuni's a remaster.
I suppose. Yeah, Ni no Kuni.
Ni no Kuni's definitely a remaster.
That's that's definitely just a remaster. Shadow of the Colossus is a remaster. Yeah, like there's definitely there's a huge difference between those.
Shadow of the Colossus gets remastered like a million times. Like,
it does, because it was originally a PS2 game, and it got remastered for the PS3 along with Eco, and then it got remastered for the PS4. Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, Kingdom Hearts is another one that's been remastered 8 million times.
8,000 times. And I own all of them.
I can't wait till 3.5 and 3.8.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I'm not gonna lie. This console generation has been extremely underwhelming and pretty good at the same time, because like the first half of the console generation was literally all remasters, and that really bugged me.
Yes. Well, that was their whole ploy, because I think they released it when it came out. They were releasing the PS4 during some of the bigger games coming out. Like, I know when it came out, like Advanced Warfare was releasing during that time, so that was like they had the option. Oh, you could pay like $5 or $10 extra to upgrade to the
I remember that
version. I think the original Injustice had that too. I think The Last of Us had that as well. There was a bunch of games that did that. So I think that was them more pushing the games that were on the last gen that many people may have not played because they either sold their old system to get the new one immediately or whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of Go ahead, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's fine. I was just finishing up. Like, they could have been pushing for that audience that were like, oh, okay, we're gonna get this immediately and not wait and play it on the last gen when I can play it on the new gen.
Yeah, I think this is because I remember some companies did do that, but I think the thing that sucked is you had to buy it digitally in order to be able to do that. You couldn't own a physical copy.
That was the one trade-off, was you had to do it digitally.
Oh, that was one thing I was going to bring up with the streaming thing, because that's like the unfortunate part. Even though like I love the idea of just being able to have like a big library of games, some of them maybe I've already played and excited to get back into, and then some that I'd be really excited to try out that I'd never played before. But the thing that sucks about that kind of service also is that, like, think about everybody loves The Office, and The Office is leaving Netflix. That's something that definitely kind of turns me off of it a tiny bit in terms of games, because like I love, one of my favorite games is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Like, I have it, I own that on disc, like, and I can play that whenever I want to. Versus if it was just on the streaming service and Nintendo decided to take it off of there, I wouldn't be able to play that game anymore if I didn't own it on disc.
I think in that article they actually mentioned that like they were gonna put God of War.
I have it up. It's God of War, Infamous,
and then
Grand
some
Theft
other
Auto
game,
5,
but they're
Uncharted.
removing them by like the 2020 or something. And I was like, why would you put them on there for a limited time when
Yeah, they are.
See, that
so
really,
many
like,
IPs
Yeah.
or something?
that gets me, and I understand that like these kind of services, they must just be designed for people who don't play games like me. Like, I'll play a game and then go back in 3 years and play it again, and then go back in a year and play it again. Like, I don't play new games just as they come out. I can't deal with that. Like, I'm not like, oh, this new game came out, I'm gonna buy it day one and play it nonstop for a week, and then I'm done. Like,
I think the one benefit of PlayStation Now right now is you can actually stream the PS4 games on anything that has PlayStation Now as an app. So you can actually play you can play God of War on a TV that has PlayStation Now, or a PC that has PlayStation Now. So I guess I can see what they're doing with it, but yeah.
And that's for sure like the direction it's all going in, right? Like 100% like that's probably more beneficial to more people, I think. Like I think less people are like me and Morgan and whoever else wants like physical copies of everything. The
Steelbooks are my jam.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah,
like,
that's
your
we
last
had a
year.
whole discussion on this last. I started showing all my steelbooks, but
I got my Catherine
Resident
Steelbook
Evil
looking at
2
me,
love
dude.
that we're getting in the chat.
yeah, Resident
That,
Evil
and then-
2, that's a great choice for like best remake.
That I would
I
be
don't know. If
surprised
that's
if that doesn't
I think
win.
that's a
That's-
remaster, if anything.
I would
No, that's a
Well, I
remake.
mean, I've
gotta be a
not played the
remake.
original one. So
I would
don't
call that a
know.
remake.
so pick up the controls of the original one and then you'll feel it.
Listen, I've never played Resident Evil. And
Ash
I
has
don't
very
ever-
strong opinions about this. They're in all caps.
Listen, I'll ban you right now.
Yeah,
Alright,
again,
so,
guys. So like, can't get things like these with the
yeah, you
digital.
can't get art books. You can't get anything with. All right, Spinachy Lover 420
Yeah, dude.
69.
Ban me, I'll be back.
How am I gonna show my Russian pride with if I with the digital copies, man? You're right. You're 100% right.
But I mean, no matter what, no matter like how like stubborn I am about all these streaming services, I'm glad at least they're cutting a price in half. That's a huge cut.
That is good,
right?
yeah.
20
Especially for
freedom
Sony.
dollars to 10 freedom dollars. That's a lot of freedom dollars saved per American.
Yeah, I mean, especially Sony, if you consider like everything that they've been going on, like in the news, like for like Marvel and other things, like they wanted to redo Princess Bride, which we talked about.
Oh, please don't. No, I can't. I can't. I literally, I can't.
That's another like that's the movie equivalent of remaking Dishonored.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like you
Like,
don't
it's
need
not
to.
necessary.
Like, it's
Like-
it's fine as
I
is. Like
I
I'll
can't
show
get
that.
back into this conversation
I'll
of
show that
all of
movie to
these
people
Disney
20 years from now, and
remaster
it's fine.
live action remakes. I can't do it anymore. I swear, if they do the Princess Bride, I'm gonna cry. I will do it.
I'm gonna
You guys
boycott
will
that
see
movie so
tears.
hard if they do. I'm just gonna sit down outside and be like, no. I was like, why? Why did you do this?
Can't
It doesn't
remake
need it.
perfection.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Perfection.
You can't do it. Like, what's the reason? Like, I know that there are some people that are like, to give the new generation. It's like, make them watch the old movie.
Yeah, just
Just
watch the old
re-release-
movie.
Just re-release it on Blu-ray with better textures in terms of like
Exactly.
animated movies.
Yeah.
You can update an animated classic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with all the money they have in their
Have
animation.
you seen when they they remastered the animated Lion King? There's like some weird song in there that's not supposed to be in there.
Well, they were
They
adding
did the
shit.
same thing when they did
Oh.
Star Wars. All those
Zazu has
remasters.
his
There's-
own. Zazu has his own number.
What the?
There's weird
they're
songs
terrible.
in the animated
one
and the
in-
live actions.
Yeah, there's one in the original Beauty and the Beast too that got re-released. There's
Ugh.
like a "When We're Human Again" song, I think is what it's called. Which it's okay, but it definitely was not in the original release.
Hey,
Also hasn't
Beast and
seen
Walt.
Princess Bride.
Beast and Walt. I'm not one to talk
Not gonna lie to
shit,
you.
okay? Because there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
I haven't
But
seen
but
Princess
please
Bride.
watch the movie. It's very good.
Video game movies, Mortal Kombat.
I'll
I
even
mean,
watch
you're not
Beast
missing
guys.
much.
Beast
You're
and
missing
Walt, all right?
everything.
We're gonna have a movie night, and I'll even watch it with you. All
that
right,
movie's great.
be a great
What
time.
movie?
ROUS.
Princess Bride.
I've
You ever
never
seen the Princess Bride? Well, you can join in too. We'll have the whole
God damn
gang.
it. Why did
We're
why
gonna
did we
do a
think-
movie night. Movie night
Listen.
with
We
Princess
need
Bride.
to.
Eric.
Come on.
What's up?
We chose to have you on this podcast, and here you are letting us down by not having seen the Princess Bride.
Dude, I don't watch TV
Wait,
shows
that's not
and I
the
don't watch
The
movies.
application, Trev.
Unless-
I need to add that on the application.
My God,
The very
I will
last
die.
question. Have
So
you
have
seen
you-
the
that.
Princess Bride?
I have a very short attention span, so like for some reason when I can't watch movies or TV shows by myself, or I'll just get too invested in things like my phone and stuff like that. So when I'm with people, for some reason I don't know why, but for some reason I can focus on a TV show or movie when I'm hanging out with people, but not by myself.
Social pressure. That's why.
You're right.
Yeah.
I gotta
Like,
chime
that
in about
sounds
the
like-
plot.
It's a
You're right.
good
I gotta
thing. It's
chime
a
in
good
about the
Actually, I
plot.
thought Detective Pikachu was the best video game.
Oh yeah, I want.
Oh,
I actually.
God.
Ash has raised like a really good topic here. What's the best video game movie in your guys' opinion? I know
Assassin's
most of them are
Creed.
low tier trash.
Shut
but,
the
like-
Fuck up, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
I just
Does anyone
love
have a
Michael
favorite
Fassbender.
video
Hey, do you know what? No, you know what actually is the highest rated video game movie? Angry Birds 2.
Is it really?
Haven't seen
100%.
it.
100%. I haven't
first
seen it either.
Wait, there's a
one
second
actually-
one?
Yeah.
It
The
was,
second
it's-
or the first one actually is not that bad. I was expecting it to be really, and it's weird. It's definitely weird. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that bad. It's actually kind of funny.
Detective
Yeah.
Pikachu held that title for like all of like 2 weeks, I think.
I
That's
love
the highest rated.
I love
game
I have
movie.
not seen Detective Pikachu.
That's a
I've heard
great
it's
one.
very
solid.
good.
No,
You're
but you need
right.
to before
story's
you
kinda
see
what's up?
Detective
Can we watch
Pikachu.
We can watch
No,
it.
he needs to up his Pokemon knowledge. You can't just go in there with just the first gen and expect to know what's going on. You need to up your knowledge at like at least Gen 3.
Okay, Morgan, do I have to play at least Gen 3 before we watch Detective Pikachu?
no.
Yes. No,
Okay,
because
there
you're
we
gonna be
go.
asking
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are these Pokemon? And you're like, well, if you played Gen 3, you would have known.
They're just Pokemon. I don't
can
need to.
just
It's
say
not like
it.
they're gonna have all these personalities and stuff. I'm like, what's the lore on this guy? Like, it's no.
You,
They're
you
just
need to know that stuff.
You need the lore though.
Yeah.
they're little critters. Like
You're-
it's fine.
you're a
I'm sure
lore
you
guy.
understand.
Whoa, critters.
if you
let's
don't
see
know
here.
why Pikachu says Pika, then how are you gonna understand the plot, dude?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know
My God,
why
no,
all
guys.
they
You gotta
say
know
is-
what's going through his head as he's saying Pika.
Best video game movie ever is definitely the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Oh no.
There's a
With that
Super
freaky
Mario
looking
Bros.
Goomba.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you
That's
should
the one.
see the TV show. You should see the live action Mario show.
I feel like
that
this was
they
before
had.
my time.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
it came out in
it's a sight to
93.
behold.
So
Yeah, that shit is
I
wild.
was 1 years old, so
I was
I
nothing
really
years
like the
old.
Warcraft movie. I thought the Warcraft
you're
movie.
negative years old.
It's not like the
negative.
most authentic depiction of Warcraft ever because it's like a 2.5
I
hour
thought
movie
the
of like a
CGI
billion-year-old
for
game.
Warcraft was great, but I didn't know the story, so I was just amazed at CGI. I mean,
So, yeah, that was Simon Dugan did the cinematography for Warcraft, and he did like Great Gatsby, 300 Rise of an Empire, iRobot, stuff like that. He's like awesome. He's like one of the best cinematographers around, and he made that movie look beautiful. Highly recommend Warcraft if you haven't seen it. I hope they make a sequel. They probably won't, but I hope.
they can just do one for every expansion.
Wasn't
Really
there-
milk
The
that
new Tomb Raider, the
cash
Tomb
cow.
Raider
was a
movie was
Doom
pretty
movie.
good too.
The
The Tomb Raider movie wasn't bad actually. I liked
It's
it.
not as bad as people said it is. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Wait,
Eric's
wasn't-
about to shit all over it. I can
wasn't
tell by the
there,
look on his face right
wasn't there
now.
like
The Doom
multiple
movie
Doom movies?
Was really dumb but
Well-
really fun to watch. Like
Yeah,
it-
okay.
Original Lara Croft with like Angelina Jolie. You're counting that.
But there was a first person scene in Doom that was so good because it's all the whole entire like 5 minutes action scene is all shot in the first person, like you're the Doom guy, and it's sick. I fucking love it. It's so bad. The movie's so bad.
I would love to see them do a new Doom movie now with the resurgence of Doom and like
They did. It was
popular
trash.
culture.
Wait, did
Wait,
they
Yeah,
what?
actually?
Like,
they did.
Sim-
Yeah, they did. It came out a year ago. It was supposed to be really
What?
bad. Yeah, it's supposed to be
What was
really
it, like
bad.
a straight to VHS or something? Why didn't I hear about it?
Yeah, I forget. Let me see if I can look at what it's called because it's it was supposed to be terrible.
Was it like Doom Annihilation or something or?
Oh, hold up. Walt, what?
Yeah, that's exactly
What Tomb
that's
Raider? What
Annihilation.
Tomb Raider movie are you talking about, Walt? The
Alicia
Alicia
Van
Vikander
Dyker,
one,
yeah,
or
or
the
the Angelina Jolie
Angelina
one?
Jolie one?
Original, so Angelina Jolie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, did you
My
guys know that
roommate is
there's a
watching
Monster
anime
Hunter
right now, and it's really
Yeah,
loud.
Oh, it
There's a
looks
Monster
bad.
Hunter
It looks
movie.
bad. It
There's a
looks
Monster Hunter
terrible.
movie coming
It looks
out.
terrible.
Ti is in
Oh
it.
God, guys, can I just say
I think Ti and Ron
Sonic the
Perlman are in it.
Hedgehog?
Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Sonic.
I haven't
Definitely
heard
best
anything.
thing I've ever seen in my life.
I haven't heard anything about that movie since it showed that trailer and it got so
I think
flack.
it went back for reshoots. It went back into production after they
Yeah.
released
They
the
better have
trailer
just
because
changed
it was.
completely.
So I just
Yeah.
double checked
Hire a
something
new
that
voice
I
actor.
suspected but wasn't sure about, and yeah, indeed, Paul W.S. Anderson is directing Monster Hunter. So he did like
It's gonna be terrible.
Mortal Kombat, and he did Resident Evil. There's another Paul Anderson who's a director who's like really good, and then there's
I
this.
thought you were talking about that one. He's won like Oscars.
No, that guy is really cool. This is like another guy who,
This is
like,
the one-
fortunately for his career, shares the same
Hughes.
name, and like is notable.
Oh my God, I know a story like this. So apparently, this is completely a little bit off topic. Apparently, Bill Murray, when he actually took the job, whoa, I just hit
For
my
what?
knee. For the Garfield movie.
Okay.
he was actually super excited about it because he saw that there was a certain director on it, and he knew that director pretty well. He's like, oh yeah, he does a lot of really good movies. I'm really excited to be a part of this project. And it turned out that it was just a different director of the same exact name. And he said that he literally like regrets doing
the
Garfield.
ultimate debate when like you think it's somebody and it's not, and you're like, oh.
I'm really disappointed. Apparently,
Shout out to Zeus, by the way, for getting the name right. Oh, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering, it's Alicia, not Alicia. Just fun pronunciation note.
Apparently, Dan Trachtenberg was, he was supposed to direct the Uncharted movie that's supposed to be coming out, but he and Uncharted have parted ways, which I'm really sad about.
Didn't they get like another good director?
I don't know how I feel about it.
He directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, and he directed Seen Black Mirror. He directed the video game episode.
Oh yeah. I know
really
that
good.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
playtest. Playtest was the name of the episode.
That's right. Yeah. The
I was really excited when I found out he was going to be directing Uncharted, and then when I found out he.
Yeah, they hired a new director. That's right. They hired the
Bumblebee guy. Yeah. I was like, I knew
not
a movie
Michael
he's
Bay,
made before.
That wasn't his movie.
No, hell no.
Who's the Bumblebee guy? What's his name?
Travis Knight. He directed Kubo,
Knight,
so he's a good. I mean, I've heard Kubo is amazing. I've never seen it, but I've heard Kubo was an incredible animated movie.
Morgan,
how's Kubo and the Two Strings?
Yeah, that's the director for that movie. So the director for that movie is directing Uncharted.
Yes.
Can we watch it
right now?
Yes.
All right. The
You asking me out on a date?
I am.
Oh my gosh.
If AJ's still here, he's like ripping his ears off.
I kind of want to see an Infamous movie. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Wait, didn't they do an Agent 47 movie or Hitman?
Oh, yeah, don't even start. Oh,
the one with Timothy Olyphant.
What's great about that movie is that apparently in one of the scenes, he walks into like this hotel room or this like kid's room or whatever, and they're actually playing Hitman on the TV in the background.
That's funny.
Yep.
Oh, I missed that. They've made 2 Hitman movies. They had the Timothy Olyphant one, like a number of years ago, probably 12 years ago or something like that. And then they have the new one.
Yeah, there was one like 2017 or something. If I remember.
With a guy who couldn't even be bothered to shave his whole damn head. I
feel that's a very important thing for Hitman. Like,
it was worse. Like the Timothy Olyphant one is like passable, is like sort of like I don't know, like 2007 or 2009 action movie or whenever it came out. But the the new one is just like reprehensible.
Well, I know for sure that there was a woman who almost died. She got like her arm ripped off or cut off or something. And what I've heard that there's actually another person that did die on the set of Resident Evil. If I remember right.
Goodness.
I actually just watched a YouTube video about this a couple days ago. She like was in a coma for like a month. And so once she woke up, like she had a shit ton of damage on her spine. She couldn't move her arm, so they had to amputate her arm from the elbow up, like right here. Yeah, and it's pretty messed up. And another guy got crushed by like some sort of set stuff, so he just got crushed to death on set. This is all for the same movie too. It's the final chapter, Resident Evil.
Makes you wonder how that happens. Like, good lord.
Yeah. Apparently, the first one was she was riding a motorcycle, and they were supposed to lift the camera up, but they didn't, and so she just crashed into the camera with no helmet on.
Oof.
Oh, jeez.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Cover her hospital bill? That seems.
They only gave her $30,000. It's really shitty. They only gave her like $30,000 for the hospital bills.
That's not
which is like nothing.
Yeah, I can't believe that's legal.
Yep.
Like, how long have movies been being made now with like stunt people? Like forever, right?
Yes.
Like, you'd think there would be like a really sort of like definitive like structure for how that's actually formally dealt with. And maybe there isn't. Maybe the structure for it is just garbage. But
I think it's just them trying to save money at every corner.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, yeah.
Okay, so Rory, Morgan, or Melissa, one of you want to post the Overwatch
I got it.
article? Yeah. Because Ray wanted us to talk. Well, he didn't want us to talk about it. He asked us if we were going to talk about it.
So guys, this is about Overwatch in terms of crossplay with PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So that's going to be the article if you guys want to follow along.
And then I did recently see, I think it was this morning actually, when I was at work, that PlayStation announced that they took crossplay out of beta.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yo, they're finally taking a step in the right direction.
Crossplay's a fireware, Eric.
I was gonna say, isn't it interesting that these things are happening as soon as Sean Layden where Sean Layden steps down?
That's kind of an interesting point, actually.
Because I was thinking about this, I was like, Sean Layden stepped down today, and yesterday was the price cut for PlayStation Now, and today is the cross-platform PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, crossplay is a really interesting thing to me. So I know a very limited amount about the development of Rare's Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Particularly because it's really interesting from an AI perspective. So they have a lot of like AI for automated testing, which not a lot of other companies do. But like the theory is we're a live service game. We release content all the time. It comes out in these patches, and we don't have time to do like on hands people QA for all our features. So they took a little bit of extra time at the beginning and wrote some really neat AI protocols to do the testing for them, because it just wasn't sustainable to do it any other way. And that's really interesting to me because it shows they're a very forward-thinking company. Another way I guess, were forward-thinking is that they have crossplay, right? Which I guess in their case is between Xbox and PC. However, the Xbox players, I can't remember when this was, and I can't remember if they actually implemented the feature or not, but people were requesting the option to turn off crossplay. Because
so
Xbox players...
After all these people got it, they're like, all right, we don't want it anymore. We're going to...
That's kind of what I'm getting at, because the Xbox players were getting stomped on PC, right? Like, by PC players, which is exactly what's going to happen, right? If you run across a mass set of people who have more precise controls than you have. Like,
that's very true, actually.
Well,
so with Overwatch, it's like I'm a little concerned about this because everyone wants crossplay, and it's like then they actually get it. Maybe they decide they don't want it anymore, because a console widow cannot just do a 180 and hit someone from across the map, but a PC widow can.
When we get
maybe
stuck
what
with those
they'd
random
actually
console widow mans, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
So maybe what they actually are wanting here is just crossplay between consoles. So just console crossplay. So Switch, PS4, Xbox One. And I mean, I know that would be leaving PC out of it, which is not supposed to be the point. But but I completely get that, because I'm sure that there would probably be PC players also that'd be like, nah, we don't really want console players on our teams. They'd probably be fine with it on other teams since they'd be more precise. But
exactly.
And I actually think that maybe the real reason. I like what Beast is saying. I think it's a good point. Like Smite and Paladins both do it. Now, mind you, Smite and Paladins are both made by the same company. They're both high-res games. So like, and like high-res is like absurdly talented for the amount of people they have. So like, they may be able to do some like. Now, mind you, it's Blizzard. It's not like Blizzard is lacking talent.
It's not like it's not a third-party developer though that has to do it. Like if it was all made by one and done, it'd be fine. But
They did release some information about how Switch is going to have Overwatch. Like they said, there's be a laser pointer, like a gyrosphere, gyro aiming. So basically, you can aim the Joy-Con.
So like if you want to aim it like this with the motion controls, then
it helps you line up. It helps you line up your shots better, essentially.
Yeah.
That's so.
I mean, because the thing with Nintendo Switch players, if they've been playing on Wii U and then with some games on the 3DS also, but also games on the Switch, I for one can say that I am a lot more used to motion controls since I use it for like Splatoon, for I think I even use it for Legend of Zelda. I used it, or for Breath of the Wild, I should say. I used it on my Wii U. For Wind Waker. So like, yeah, just doing this probably actually would be a lot easier for Switch players in particular.
They're saying like the hit scan characters are going to have a better time on Switch because of
probably, yeah. Ash also brings up a really good point. I actually could see them like for Friday the 13th, since the Xbox community is sort of waning, which I don't think is going to be too bad now because I think in the later half of October, I want to say, they're actually making Friday the 13th free for everybody with Xbox Live.
I feel like that's also a desperate move too when you release a game
Yeah.
for free. Because
Now-
you want to draw people in. That's what they're.
That is exactly.
Will there be microtransactions in this game?
That is exactly what happened with the PlayStation 4 community for Friday the 13th. PC and Xbox were not doing all that great in terms of Friday the 13th for their community, but PS4 was kind of thriving because for an entire month they had it for free.
Rocket League was also for free on PlayStation, which added to their community substantially back when they were first starting it.
And from what I've heard,
that game came out a while ago, and that was like a huge game for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've heard for PC on Friday the 13th, it gets kind of unfortunate for PC players because the community is so low now. Like there's not a lot of people playing on PC now. So if they actually did crossplay for all of those, that probably would help that community, like the other two communities a little bit. I mean, I don't know about Xbox now since it's going to be free, and that's exactly what helped.
Yeah.
Community is
on
if they
PS4.
lifted the lawsuit.
Well,
That would also help.
That would really help the
Yeah.
community.
Yep.
There's a crossplay for me is like an interesting binary. It's because when you announce crossplay, I'm either like, wow, like you're having a lot of trouble, or wow, you're doing really well. Like you're either Fortnite or you're like a really struggling game. That's like, okay, we need some more players on this damn thing.
Ash just made another really good point because Dead by Daylight, I can remember when it was free last year, before it was free. I knew that some people played it, but it wasn't that big of a game. There were not a lot of people talking about it. I think
The most I did was add it to my library, and that was
Well,
it was on sale, I remember, at my store for like $15 at a time. And now it's thriving. It's doing so good. And now they have like Ash from the Evil Dead series is in there. They're doing Stranger Things stuff for it now. It's thriving. It's doing really good. And they were kind of on the brink of extinction.
Well, I'm pretty sure on PC it always had a pretty solid community because there'd always be
For
like
PC,
10,000.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I remember I bought it around the time it came out on PS4, and yeah, like it would take like 10 minutes to find a game.
They still do that, to be honest. The wait times are still really bad.
I
Yeah,
feel
it's-
like with that game, it wouldn't be that much of an issue for crossplay because it's not like necessarily you're gonna have a higher advantage because it's not like you can shoot people in that game. As
no,
far as
but-
I
Yeah.
know.
Well, my friend, she like plays it religiously on PS4 or PC, and she's like, if you use controllers, it's harder to juke people when you're the survivors because you have to do like a lot of fucking mouse work to like
Maneuvering,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So
Honestly, one of the reasons why I don't like to play it on PS4 also is here, like, I guess if I could show you, like, I think I want to say on PC, it's either they've changed it where it's like just a button where you got to press like two buttons like this, or it's the space bar where you just keep pressing it. Versus, if I remember right, on the controller, it's literally taking your stick and going like this.
Oh yeah, that was so bad. I forgot about that. That's so bad.
And there's a lot of people who have said, like, for console Dead by Daylight players, that they don't like playing on console because of the wiggle function, because it completely wears out their control sticks.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah.
That's interesting because like if you're a modern game releasing now, especially if you're in like a vaguely new sort of genre of games, it's going to be really hard. Like having like intuitive, easy to use controls is actually like super important. Like I play fighting games, and in fighting games we have like the worst, most difficult controls ever, right? And you use a fight stick, and it hurts your wrist, and you play for like 2 hours, and you're in pain, and you just want to lie down and cry. But like the reason they can get away with that is because fighting games were originally played on arcade cabinets, and it's kind of the same community like that's still around today. But if you're like a new game, good luck like getting that kind of loyalty where people are gonna be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna play a game that it doesn't hurt me. Like,
well, like, who remembers playing Mario Party on the N64 and having to take the control stick
Hell
and
yeah.
having it like this and going like this?
that's
I had
actually
blisters on
All
my hands.
controls are broken, dude. I remember the joysticks
Yup,
would be like leaning
aw.
to the right, dude.
Yep.
that's actually how I use an N64 controller. Actually, that's
You
my
lean to the
palm
right.
on the joystick. That's
Yep.
my strategy for using those generally, actually, because it's so awkward any other sort of kind of way.
That was the original accessibility controller.
So yeah.
Actually,
So what do we think about games that have potential to do crossplay correctly. Because in that article it mentions that Modern Warfare is probably gonna be one of the first ones for this gen
I did hear about
and
that,
next
actually.
gen potentially to come out and have crossplay. But like all the other issues we've mentioned with unfairness for keyboard and mouse players, then how does that factor in? Is it like if they play against people who are on console, they get half the XP or something because they're on an advantage with a mouse and keyboard, or
I mean,
Gears-
that's a good question.
Gears 4 actually did cross-platform play like originally for a shooter back in like 2016, and I remember I think at one point they made separate playlists where console people could play by themselves and then PC people could play by themselves because of how unfair it actually was. And I'm pretty sure I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure the ranked matches were solely on the platform you were playing on, so it wasn't like unfair.
Well, and it's not like people on console have the option to have their DPI at 10,000. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually think that as far as games that it would be unfair in, like it would definitely be unfair in Gears. Beast is a point with Halo as well. That would be massively unfair.
I think
Anything like that, a precision shooter like Counter-Strike, but Overwatch actually not so bad. To be honest, as far as like those sorts of things go, Overwatch is relatively light on precision because it's supposed to be relatively high on meta and strategy. Like that's where
I feel like Overwatch is more depending on the meta or the comp for the season, because like right now we have double barriers and it's like you have to play these specific heroes, but then like next season it could be, after nerfs and whatever, it could be a different set of heroes. So like I feel like depending on what it is at the time, it'll be either easier or harder for people doing cross.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but as a general rule, I think you can get by in Overwatch a lot easier than you could in a lot of other things. I agree with Beast that Borderlands, any co-op game could do it pretty well, because like who cares if your buddy is worse at aiming, because like if you get a randomly sampled group of 4 people together to play Borderlands anyways, one of you is going to be better at aiming than the other. That's just how it goes.
I think earlier...
That's a very good point, Beast, because that's what you said about like for BNet. Anybody who has a BNet account, like they could definitely do that.
Earlier,
I don't really know much about Fortnite, but I guess they just announced that they were changing the way that they were going to skill matching. So I guess previously they had taken into account what platform you're on.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing on Xbox, you're more likely going to run into other Xbox players. They changed it. It's going to be skill based now. So if you're going to run into players that are more like along your skill level, regardless of what platform they're on.
Okay, so it's gonna be like if you're top 500 on like PS4, you'll get matched with,
right,
like,
which to me sounds pretty
fair.
To me, that sounds pretty fair. But apparently, like obviously, console and mobile players of Fortnite are really mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine on mobile it being like a nightmare.
Like, for example, I know that like because that would be better like for matchmaking and everything, because I know that on like Splatoon, for example, you can do something called ranked, which is basically more like competitive, where you have an actual rank that you go up through. And what they would do, so like I think they start at D, maybe if I remember right, and it's just like D, C, B, A, and it goes to, like D minus, D plus, and then C minus, and that's what it'll go to. I do remember like when I would get to a new rank, like if I would go from like C plus to B, suddenly it would say like you're in a different rank, and it would actually take me out of that and put me into a rank with more B players and up than C players, for example. Which is good because
the best way to do it, because it's like if they wait until you're done with the game or whatever, and then it's like then you're playing as all these people who are lower in tier than instead of removing immediately.
I can remember like even in just regular matchmaking, for some reason, when I was playing one time, I was like a level like 49 or something like that, and this was on like I want to say it was the first Splatoon, and they had a level cap for like 50, and somehow I got put into a lobby with a bunch of like level 5s, and I literally carried my team it was super easy. And like eventually, like I think I was like two games in, and I'm like, I gotta stop doing this. Like it's not fair to this other team because they are not winning. Whatever team I'm on, I am winning.
Yeah.
Because you know, those are new players. But those are all new players, so like I definitely like it better if they put you more in like in a matchmaking system where you are playing with people who are your skill level. That's a lot better, especially for the people that like say if you get to like S rank and you worked really hard to get to S rank, and then you keep getting paired with like your team where a bunch of them are like D's and C's. That's going to make it really difficult because like if you keep losing, then your level is just going to go down and down and down. And like that's not fair to you, you know.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's not fair for the people who got to S rank either, because it's like they grinded and now they're just like fighting all these like new people. It's like, what was the point of getting up here if no one else is gonna be S tier?
Yeah,
and not just fighting against, but fighting with. Like it's worse when all of those are on like your team, and then you're still up against a bunch of other like A's and S's, you know. Because like you're not kind of getting any chance at that point if you're the only S on a team full of C's. You know, all of these new people.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that gets me about crossplay, actually, I really don't like, is how like crossplay is viewed as this binary, right? Where like you have crossplay or you don't have crossplay, and those are the only two options. But just like any other thing in game development, like that's like saying you have online play or you don't. Maybe you have online play, but your online play sucks, and there's lots of lag or something like there's going to be, if there's enough demand for crossplay, there's going to be bad crossplay as well. Like someone's going to do a poor job of it. Like
it's not always like black and white as like people were thinking. It's not like
exactly.
There's more to it than
with every new feature, there's a new opportunity to be bad at something. And that's like when Tekken 7 first came out, it ran flawlessly on the PC, and on the PS4 it had 8 frames of built-in lag that was just there, right? It was just like a part of it. It wasn't like it had nothing to do with your internet connection. That was just like, you know, and 8 frames in a fighting game is a lot of goddamn frames.
Yes.
Considering you might have a move that comes out in 7 frames. So like I'm worried going forward if everybody's like, let's implement crossplay, and you have like small indie studios who don't have like server programmers trying to implement crossplay. Like that's going to be gross, and it's going to make games that otherwise would have been fine like have a lot more development challenges. And indie studios have it rough enough as it is with all the stuff they have to implement without having the demand for new things.
I feel like developers need to also, because I know Xbox supports mouse and keyboard, but I think to a certain extent, I feel like if you're going to introduce it where you can play with people on PC, they should make it so you can actually use that input device to play on that, you know, especially since you're going to be playing against PC people, you might as well let them use the tools that they're using, you know?
Yeah, so it's like an even playing field as opposed to like, oh, I have a controller and I can only do this and they can do this and do much better.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Xbox supports it natively on the console, but the game programmers need to code it into the Xbox versions of the game for it to work properly.
Yeah, I think that's hugely necessary. And there's a lot of little things like that. Like the keyboard and mouse are the biggest thing, but if you watch competitive gamers on any platform, none of them play on a big TV. Not a single one of them, because you're not going to want to turn your head to see details.
Not even that's the response time too, because the TV
response time is not even close. Yeah, like
it's pretty awful. Because I remember I played PlayStation Siege on my 55-inch TV, and then I played it on my 1MS monitor, and it's fucking crazy how much of a difference it makes. Because it's like 50, I think it's 50 ms on TVs.
Yeah,
that's
huge.
Insane.
It's insane. It's insane how big it is.
Gaming monitors like 1 ms. It's like that's a whole.
Yeah. So like I would like to see consoles move more in the direction of like we've got keyboard and mouse support and like playing on monitors. Like I think like I truthfully think that like monitors are a better way to play games. Like like not just for like competitive advantage and things like that, but I've always found like it more sort of like immersive to sit in front of a monitor where it's just, you know, I'm very close to it, and rather than like sitting back from like a larger screen. I feel kind of the opposite about movies though, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, someone disappeared.
Oh no, Melly!
Yeah,
I got a whole lot bigger on the screen.
Oh,
in peace.
It's all
Whoa,
this is interesting.
Hey, Trev?
Yes.
Oh. Oh,
You know how
there
to
we go.
fix this?
I switched it, yes, but it's now saying that Eric is Sugar Melon, but that's fine.
Here
They
we
should
go.
know
That's
who he is.
fine. There you go. Congratulations, Eric. You've been promoted.
I'll try my best. I won't let you guys down.
Hey, at least Toctopus and Mapsio Morgan still have the heart.
I was
They had
just
the
thinking
heart on the
that.
other one too. No, but earlier
But I
when we
think-
were talking about crossplay, AJ mentioned that he wanted Monster Hunter to be crossplay, and I think that's a good example of a
Now
game
he's computer freaked out.
that wouldn't have any like benefits of being on PC as opposed to console.
Run that by me one more time. I was really distracted.
So AJ said that he wanted Monster Hunter to be crossplay, and I feel like that's one of those games, like you were saying, like it's a non-competitive,
That's right. Yeah.
solely played with friends and stuff. And that's not something that's like really heavily like, oh, it doesn't matter if you're on PC or PS4, or you benefit because you're working toward the same goal with other people.
100%. Yeah, I think that's a great. Any co-op game, I think it's a great idea. It's strictly better because, like, how many times, like Morgan, like, wouldn't we want to play Borderlands with Sedona if we could? Like,
yeah,
but we can't
so bad.
because she's on an Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really disappointing. And we wouldn't be competing with her; it'd just be a co-op.
It'd just
experience.
be
So that's like strictly an improvement. And like there's some games that just probably could do that, right? Like it probably wouldn't be that hard to do that with Borderlands. I agree.
no,
with
it
you.
wouldn't.
Borderlands
It'd
would be a super easy one. I think who was it that said that they think it would be Waltz, like co-op is fine, competitive FPS is going to be hard to balance. So like I
Well,
agree with
yeah.
that one.
For co-op, I think, like we were saying, as long as it's not competitive, it's fine. And then for competitive, it would have to put you,
okay,
like
Mom.
Eric was saying, it has to have a certain playlist for those things. Like if you're doing competitive, you can't be on PC and get placed against console people.
Yeah.
You'd strictly have to be against PC people.
Yeah,
While on
Like, I
Xbox or
think-
PS4, you could do interchangeably those.
Yeah, I think games that have PvP are those would be a lot more difficult in terms of like I said, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. That would probably be a little bit easier in terms of PvP. Jesus, if everybody still like everybody has joystick, you know, like that's kind of what it is. But yeah, like co-op would be fine because there's no PvP in that. and-
competitive aspect to it. It's just
You don't really gotta
working
think much about that.
towards
It's
the
just-
same thing.
Exactly, like Borderlands or Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you really want to even things out, we can also do crossplay with a racing game, and then all the console players will kick our asses.
Yes.
Yep. There we
Unless-
go.
Unless they're using steering wheels on PC.
Oh, I
Sure.
have a
Sure.
friend.
Yeah,
He's like
logical ones,
he's like a hardcore elite dangerous player. He has like 3,000 hours in. And he has the VR headset to start with, right? And then he has
hella
like
immersed then.
it's like super like he's got like multiple joysticks from like there's like a throttle and like one that has like pitch and yaw, and it's like he looks like a huge dork from on my perspective looking at him, but from his perspective like he's actually flying that goddamn spaceship, and that's really really cool.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I would almost want to get into it if not for the fact that like that's obviously a huge time investment. You need a PC that can support VR to even start spending all the money on like the joysticks and stuff like that.
Zeus, you are very correct. It would still be that we would need the option for
Yes.
crossplay.
That and then what Rory was talking about is that it's not the fact that you have it or you don't. It's like you can get it, but then there's also what about the connection between PC and console players? Like they have servers they have to run on, they have to connect to, and then PC people have to connect to a server, and then like what if something happens to one of their servers or something? There's like 9 different subcategories to this one problem.
Yeah, and like for certain games, like it can be hard like playing competitive games on Wi-Fi, for instance. And like on PC, that's kind of like that's not a big issue. Like as I feel like, and I don't want to stereotype too much, but I feel like PC people, if you built your PC, you probably you have a good chance of like having a wired connection, right?
Yes.
Or like being able to hook one up like trivially. Like
I use LAN specifically. 'Cause I remember when I got it. I was like,
mine's
nah.
wireless.
really interesting.
Do you have an
That's-
adapter?
I do. I have a little tiny adapter in my front of my
Oh,
computer.
I was gonna say it's rare because a lot of motherboards don't have native Wi-Fi support. But
Yeah.
But yeah, you
like,
have a USB, and the guy who did the video for the PC I have, it was like, oh, you can use one of these, or you can use a LAN cable. I was like, why the fuck would I use a Wi-Fi cable when I can use a LAN cable?
and like, but like, I feel like for the consoles, it's a lot more common to run your console on Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Yeah,
than
and it's bad.
plug an Ethernet cable into your modem and drag it. Like, I got like 3 Ethernet cables running down the hallway of my apartment. They're not like tucked away at all. They're just running down the middle of the floor, and that's fine, right? I can get away with that, but not everybody can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
not
aunt
everyone
would
would.
whoop my ass, dude. She'd be like,
She's like, what is this wire out here for?
kitchen guy was this? Did she start hitting with the chunk dude? But no, dude, you have a point about the console wireless thing, because I don't know why they were this bad, but I remember when PS4 and Xbox One launched, they only supported 2.4 gigahertz, and that stuff is terrible. And I did not realize how bad 2.4 was until they started supporting 5 on the pros and stuff, and until PCs and stuff, because it's so bad. It causes so much lag on everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I just also, this isn't a topic and it's not relevant to anything and it's going to get less relevant as time goes on. But hold on. I see an icon. It's Melly's icon.
Now
There's
I gotta
hope.
switch back to this one.
Hold on. I'll wait to complain about this thing I'm about to complain about until Melly gets back.
Melly, talk to us.
Did. No, she's not.
Oh, it's raining.
Oh, I was like, it is, but it's not raining where I am. Okay, I'm gonna continue on my rant. So, we've all here had Eric. I don't know if you owned a PlayStation 3.
I did have a PlayStation 3, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, am I alone in thinking that the PlayStation 3 like XMB or cross menu bar is way nicer than the main menu on the PS4?
Oh yeah, the PS4 home screen is pretty bad in my opinion. I don't like it at all. It's really poorly organized.
Really?
You have to go into like different things to get to different places, and like the settings were like in this. Yeah, I don't like it. It's not that good. The XMB is definitely better.
I think
I love just
the
scrolling over to my games, scrolling down through my games, rather than like I'm scrolling through like apps. Like I don't want to pass Netflix on my way to get to a game.
Yeah.
Like,
and you can't even just get to Netflix. You have to go to the TV and video section, and then you have to go.
Oh my god, I hate that. I hate that.
Forever.
Like
I'm just trying to get to YouTube.
It's annoying though.
It takes forever.
I think the customization for PS3 was a lot better too, because I don't know if you guys ever did like the custom themes for it.
I did. Yeah.
Those were super creative, and like the ones we have now are like, oh, you can pay $2.99 and get some like static theme that clearly someone took 2 seconds to make, and they're like, oh yeah, it's $2.99. Like I could have done this.
They're like, but it has music.
I honestly think that the PlayStation 3 at the time was severely underappreciated. Like it had a bit of a slow start in terms of getting its exclusives and stuff like that. But if you look back by the end of its lifetime, it had an absurd amount of good games. And I really enjoyed using it, honestly. And it was one of the more durable consoles of that generation, considering that one of them combusted at a moment's notice.
Listen, the PS3 walked so the PS4 could run.
That's the quote of the evening.
You know how many exclusives they have now that are so good?
I mean, that's true.
It is true.
Yeah. And for me, like for PlayStation 3, like, because I know that if you ask anybody, I think a lot of people tend to say that of that generation, the Xbox 360 was probably the best. In terms of me, I mean, I played a lot more games on my PlayStation 3 than I did my Xbox 360.
Me too.
But that's because of the kind of the player that I am. There were a lot of JRPGs on the PlayStation 3. And that's really what drew me to the system, was just how many like single player, not just JRPGs, but how many single player games there were. I mean, Uncharted, the Uncharted series, they had 3 of those on there. Really good series. At the end of its life cycle, The Last of Us was on there, and that made Game of the Year. But in how many JRPGs I actually have on the PlayStation 3 is wild.
It's actually comical. Like there's like
Yeah.
you'll never get through that list. And like for me, I mean, they released the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection on the PS3, which is like a bunch of Metal Gear Solid games in one place. And like I would buy a console for that.
Oh yeah, I
Right,
don't know if
like-
you know this, but Eric has a
Welcome back,
Kojima
AJ.
tattoo.
Wait, hold up. Oh wow. Okay, no, this is. Okay, we got to stop and take a minute here.
And then he's got the Uncharted thing tattooed on him too.
Yeah, let me get a better angle because I don't want to show you my
Damn,
hands.
that is a great.
That's
tattoo.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
that.
That's exceptional. The
Yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you.
Eric, I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. It houses multiple of my favorite games of all time.
Oh yeah, they're all fantastic. The one thing is I haven't played any of the PSP ones, but then that's
Oh,
out of me,
okay,
but-
yeah. So you haven't played like I guess the Portable Ops and Peace Walker?
yeah. Peace Walker's supposed to be fantastic. All my friends always tell me that it's like one of the best ones, but I just haven't played it. And I have it because I have the
You have the Legacy,
Legacy
collection or the
collection. I do
HD
have-
collection?
I
Yeah,
have the Legacy collection, so I just haven't gotten around to play it. But
yeah,
it's-
for sure. So have you played the fifth one?
I have, yes.
Okay, so it'll be really interesting for you to play Peace Walker with the vision of like the whole series. Then,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll have to tell me what you think about it. I'm sorry, I'm taking a moment on this. Do you have a favorite Metal Gear Solid game?
Let's see. Fuck. Tough question. Putting me on the spot.
And no worries, Roy. That's the reason I brought it up because I was like, oh yeah, I was like, you're a huge fan. I remember.
So
you had
obviously
the-
3 is like it's phenomenal, but
Mhm.
1 is the game that I played a lot because I had vivid memories of it when I was a little kid because my cousins would always play it. So I think it holds more of like a kind of sentimental value for me because it's more of like my cousins. I'd watch my cousins play it, and then I finally played it when it came out on GameCube. And even though the GameCube one is not anywhere near as good as the PS1 one, it's still like I was just like I remember playing and I was like, this is the greatest game I've ever played in my life. It's so good.
Yeah, so here's when I was 4 or 5 when the demo for Metal Gear Solid came out. The original Metal Gear Solid, it was in Japanese, and my cousin Adrian owned it, and so I would go to where he lived, which was upstairs, and I would play that nonstop. So I have like literally the exact same experience, basically, which is like my
Yeah.
cousins were super into it. That got me into it. 1 is also my favorite, actually, but actually, I'm one of the like heathens that prefers 4 to 3, and I acknowledge that I'm wrong. I acknowledge my sins, but like I'm a huge fan of 4 as well. I gotta say.
Well, I know, like 4 has a special place in my heart because like I fucking love the cutscenes, dude. They're so
Amazing.
batshit crazy.
Yes.
They're so batshit crazy. It didn't
Yes.
make no sense. And the flashback to Shadow Moses Island halfway through the game, it's like and you just get the fucking flashbacks throughout the whole island part, and I'm just like,
Yeah, no, it's that's an exceptional like piece of game history. I think I should address what Walt said. I should finish MGS5. I got a character spoiled and stop because I didn't want that to happen. Yeah, so Walt, I was in like a similar boat with MGS5 where like when I first picked it up, I like found out what the ending was and stopped, and I was like, but
but did they really finish the game? Because there really isn't an.
well, that's kind of a good point actually. The game is like a little unfinished because Kojima went on a vacation, as Konami puts it. They didn't let him go anywhere on the vacation or attend any award ceremonies or anything like that. But it was a vacation, trust me. It's unfortunate that that's the legacy. But of course, we're gonna get Death Stranding. I'm just gonna assume that you're buying Death Stranding.
Oh yeah, I pre-ordered. I bought it for. I was like, yeah. She's like, I was like, what? I'm buying this shit for you for Christmas. I am give a shit. I have it pre-ordered already for some reason. I have an extra copy for some reason. I'm just shipping it to you, so I'm buying 2 copies. I got a steelbook. I have a poster in my car somewhere that I need to frame still. I listened to Death Stranding by Churches like 10 times already.
I'm also extremely excited. And it's good because a lot of like people I know don't want to play it, so they're just gonna watch me play it.
Yes,
Like I'm just
one
gonna
of those
stream
people.
it, and like Trev is one of those people.
I feel like
Trev
I
is
have
never
no
gonna
idea what's
touch
about
it.
to happen, but I know you're gonna enjoy it. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna sit in your home base and I'm gonna drink a lot of Monster Energy drinks, and then I'm gonna call it a day.
Oh shit! Did you hear they have? So I was walking back from the office the other day, and I passed by a Monster Energy truck,
Hmm.
and there were some people in it and I heard someone go up and talk to the people and be like, yo, what are you here for? Like, this is a truck that says Monster Energy on it. What's the point? And they were like, we're giving out free Monster iced coffee. Did anybody else hear about Monster iced coffee?
Yeah, they've had those. They've had those for a little. They've had those for a long time.
Maybe we're just getting them here.
Yeah,
maybe they're just crossing the border.
They're called Monster Javas.
I know.
We've had them for like 8 years at least.
I've never tried them.
Oh damn! See, Canada's a bit behind. Admittedly, I'm not going to deny.
Well, where you come from is like 10 years behind, and then like where you are now, I bet it's not as far.
I think
behind,
we're like. I went from like 10 years behind to like 3 years behind. I think.
Have you tried Taco Bell yet, Rory?
I haven't, because when I first went to the Taco Bell, it looked like they had never seen a cleaning product in their fucking lives.
That sounds about right.
I was like, maybe I'll come back when it's cleaner or when I have lower standards. I promise I will try
with you and just be like, here.
Yeah, really, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Hey Lonnie, what's up?
Do any of you guys have Del Taco? I know you don't, Rory, because it's not.
We have Del Taco here. I haven't had it though. It's like on the other side of town.
I don't think I've ever had it. No.
Because we have SoCal Mexican, so it's like, why would I ever go?
Pretty salad, dude. Their
All I
fries
know
are pretty
about
good.
what was it? Del Taco.
Yes.
What's that one? I only know about it from that meme. That
Free Shavakadu?
So.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing. I was wondering why the name sounded.
Should I break my juice fast with Del Taco?
They have Beyond Tacos there.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they do. They have vegan tacos at Del Taco. And they're supposed to be pretty solid. It's interesting. It's kind of cool that you're seeing all that stuff pop up now, like where you just see vegan options at fast food restaurants.
That's amazing. Yeah, like
I'll have to try that.
Like I'm pretty sure McDonald's is testing it in Canada. If I don't remember.
Woo! All right, yeah.
That's finally something Rory has.
We got this one fucking thing. We're slightly ahead of McDonald's experiments.
Canada's been getting all that earlier. Like Canada's A&W got the Beyond Burger first.
We did, yeah. Well, Canada's A&W here is like high level. Like people really care about A&W in Canada. As far as McDonald's goes, McDonald's also. Do you guys have McDonald's fish and chips in America?
No.
No, we have fish. We have fish fillet.
Yeah,
that's the most fish we get here.
Yeah. Like we have like McDonald's fish and chips, which like I come from a place that's like known at least in part for fish and chips. Like that's like the best thing about Newfoundland.
So they
right?
bring it out to you and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Well, like literally, I was like, if you're in Newfoundland and you're ordering McDonald's fish and chips, you deserve whatever's about to happen. Like that's like such a bad idea.
That's such a bad call. You're like, why? Why would you do this to yourself?
Eric, are you playing anything right now? Do you have like I know you're pretty busy these days. Do you have time to play games?
What am I playing right now? You know, I literally just bought Astral Chain today. Like I just bought that.
I was the one who voted for that, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I just bought it today, so I'm gonna play it today. I did play Catherine Full Body. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, the remaster, right?
Yeah, just because of the steelbook. Oh,
that is a remaster. Very good.
Yeah, so it's for sure a remaster. But it's pretty good. Because I watched my friend play it when it first came out. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting because I fucking love Persona 4 and 5. So I was like, I gotta get it because it's the same studio. And so even though it's not the same studio anymore, but I bought it and I played it and I beat it in like a week and I really liked it. Even though I normally don't like puzzle games because they just kind of I just get confused, you know. But I love that. It was great.
Stupid, yeah, no.
I'm just like, God. Although I did play it on easy and I was like, holy shit, this is way easier than I wanted it to be, and then I just had to play it on easy. But yeah, I really like that. I was playing Control, but I haven't gone back to it. I really want to go back to Control. But it's like it's really good because Remedy Games is like one of my favorite video game studios. Because when I was a kid, I played a lot of Max Payne. I played Alan Wake when that came out, and I actually was probably one of the few people that liked Quantum Break, even though it was kind of had a lot of problems. But I've been trying to get back to playing that. I did start playing Gears 5, and then I just play Overwatch.
Dude, Max Payne was the shit.
Oh,
the original Max Payne was amazing. One of my favorite PC games.
Came in at its finest right there, dude.
They
graphic novel cutscenes. The fucking developers were in the cutscenes. Oh.
But you know what? I haven't played a Remedy game since the Max Payne series.
Play Control. Yeah, it's
Play
like
Control?
it's
Control
like
looks amazing. I really want to play that.
It's one of their best games. It's one of the weirdest.
Didn't Ash start playing Control?
She did, but she lost her save file because she deleted her computer.
Ah.
She deleted System 32.
Me and Morgan know a big fan of Remedy games, Decker. Who?
Wait, Decker's a fan of something? I thought he just talks shit about everything.
Oh,
he
the
talks
thing
shit
about
everything
Decker.
everyone else likes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
okay,
thing about
okay.
Decker is that he'll talk shit about everything else that anybody else likes, but he is a fan of a small amount of things.
Like 3 things.
But he is the biggest fan of those small amount of things.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no one
From
comes
from
close.
the 4 conversations I've had with him, I got that vibe.
It's like he likes XCOM, Remedy games. 2 things. Sorry, he only likes 2 things.
Nothing else.
Like that's like. But I'd actually like to get him on the podcast one of these days. Actually.
Shoot him that application link.
Oh yeah. Oh, he'll definitely fill that out. Yeah, he'll get right on. The
But yeah.
Control looks like Jean Grey with a gun.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. But no, it's great. It's just I think it's like one of the first. I mean, I feel like Max Payne 1 and 2 they had a shit ton of freedom, but I feel like this is the first game since maybe Alan Wake where they've been able to be like, all right, we're just gonna make something so fucking weird. I don't even give a shit what you think. We're gonna just do whatever we want to do and just make this game. And it's so weird. It's creepy.
Death Stranding has entered the chat.
It looks really good, and it's just overall, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I really like it. I've always liked the things that they would do, like with just storytelling, where it's like either just them having cutscenes in TVs in the world, where you could just stop and like, oh, TV's playing something, let me just watch it because why not? To like just all those type of things and the weird characters and stuff. But it's I need to get back to it, but it's like the 2 to 3 hours I've played of it, I've really like. And if you're a fan of Max Payne, you would probably really like Control.
I'm a fan of the Remedy Max Payne. Like, I mean, like I played a bit of Max Payne 3. And I was like, this is just Man on Fire in a video game.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
I don't need this right now. And then I put it down and I literally watched Man on Fire.
That movie's so good, though.
It is really
go
good.
wrong.
Right?
Creasy Bear, dude. God.
So
Oh, hell yeah. You got a good memory.
This is a topic I want to cover before, because we were talking about crossplay. I feel like a halfway point for crossplay would be cross save, kind of like what Destiny did, where you'd transfer your save from one thing to a different thing. So if you wanted to play, and you wouldn't be forced to be playing on console versus somebody on PC, you could just switch your save to PC and be at the same level or whatever gear.
That would come in handy with Monster Hunter World. Right
Exactly.
now.
Like I wouldn't have to grind out 800 hours on PC to get to where I was on PS4. I could just.
Yeah, exactly. Warframe has that, I'm pretty sure, too. And Warframe is a good example because Warframe is a really grindy game, right? Like, that takes a long time. If you put many hours into Warframe, you don't want to start it.
Yes.
Like,
But
yeah,
I
that
think
cross save should be a thing.
the only drawback to that is that it has to be server based, because Monster Hunter I know is not server based because there's a delay in like the DLC they get.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
As you know, as we all know, Iceborne's not coming out till January for us, and then consoles already got it, so they can't really keep up with that.
Not
There
just
was a
DLC
time-
either, but patches. Patches will make that extremely difficult.
I mean, they could have
Yeah.
also fixed it by releasing them all at once instead of doing
I
console
mean, yeah.
and then PC.
Yeah, I
in
don't
the fall.
understand why they're still doing that. I feel like after they released the original game, they should have already figured out make them both come out at the same time. I feel like.
Yeah, because
You know?
it's not like this is like the first time it's happened. Like that's happened with multiple games. Like
I don't think it's an accident. Like, I don't think it's an inability to figure it out. Like, I think sometimes, like, you ever see those like ads where it's like, you know, hey, we got this game coming out, but the maps are coming first to Xbox or something. This is like the Call of Duty business model,
Yes,
right? Like, I
that's
figure like
exactly Call of
Xbox was
Duty.
just like, hey, what if we give you some bucks and you give us some maps?
Some V-Bucks.
GTA 5 has cross save, also another game that should have been crossplay. Yeah, GTA 5 probably could have managed crossplay. GTA 5 is just a monster of a game as far as like its success is concerned. I'm gonna be 100% honest, like not to be bitter about it, but like I'll be happy when GTA 5 is
It's dead.
something I don't see anymore. Not because I have anything against the game, but I really just don't like the business model, and I think its success has been kind of a negative.
Well, soon that will go, and then it will be replaced with
GTA
GTA
6.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah. The
We'll see if
Red
that
Dead.
one can sell. What was it, like 100 billion copies or
Oh,
whatever?
yeah, then
Yeah.
they're definitely making another one.
oh yeah.
Oh, of
And
course
I mean
they will.
they've had great success too with like I mean their sales of Red Dead are really really high.
110 million.
I was with Eric when he bought Red
I said
Dead
billion, but-
too. He bought it twice.
I did buy it twice.
So
You bought it twice.
I bought one for my friend because he let me stay at his house in Portland, and so I was like, here's your payment. You didn't have to
Oh,
buy me
okay.
shit, and I was like,
Yeah, no worries. I bought 4 copies of Tekken 7. So
Why?
So you don't have to worry because I bought them for like as gifts for other people because I want to like get
Okay.
people interested in the game. The
has it worked?
it will.
Has it worked?
Morgan and I are gonna play soon actually.
I feel like that's clearly one-sided. Like Smash isn't very converting to like Tekken because like Smash it's a different
See,
play
I told
style.
Rory this because I always beat him in Smash, and now he can
It's
beat me in
true.
Tekken. So
Yeah.
What if you beat him in Tekken?
That'll be interesting. Yeah,
That'll
I'll
be
be very
interesting.
proud.
it'll just be button mashing. That's
Yeah.
all it will literally be. So
Talking about fighting games, I literally just want to buy Mortal Kombat 11 because of Terminator.
Yeah, I saw
Buy
they
Tekken
announced
7
that.
Yeah.
because of Rory. I know I'm not Terminator, but I'm close.
But you weren't our governor at some point, dude. Like the
You're
Terminator
not a
was.
T1000.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I definitely. Well, just have to change that. That'll be my next big career move. After I finish the PhD, I'll go move to California and become governor.
There you go. Hey man, you gotta have dreams, you know.
You gotta start somewhere. And then we can refer back to this when you run your campaign and be like, hey, he did do it. He did say he was gonna finish his PhD and come out here and run for governor.
That's
And then
right. Yeah,
people
yeah.
won't want to vote for you because they'll say, "Remember when Rory said that GTA 5 was fucking trash?"
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Oh, that'll be it for me. Yeah, bye campaign. I
Like,
played
that clearly
but I
means he
can see
hates
demo disc.
California.
The Tekken 2 was incredible. Tekken 3 was actually one of the games they released on the PlayStation Classic. But it was the PAL version, not the like NTSC version, so it had, you guessed it, built-in frames of lag, which is like the classic theme of like Tekken games on PlayStation.
We talked about this last time, I think. It's because like we were saying that like certain moves have
That's
like
right.
certain startup frames. So like if you skip the frames, it's like, well, what the
Then
fuck? Why didn't I do the
Bye
move?
fighting game. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Bungie.
Oh yeah,
and
how
Destiny.
they added the new launcher.
Oh well, there's yeah. So they've switched, right? Like you can now get
First,
Destiny
can
2
someone
on
throw
Steam.
the link in the
I-
chat?
I was
It's
just
the
about to
Bungie
do
one,
that.
Yeah, I think it's the
Mm.
one right before the Overwatch one.
Yep. So guys, this is again going to be the article that you can follow along with there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Morgan. So yeah, I wanted to talk about how so like Bungie for a while had this partnership with Activision, which
Wait, real quick. Anyone in here playing Destiny 2 like after the new release that came out? Or not release,
Oh,
the
yeah,
new
that's true,
expansion.
yeah.
I know Paka got on. I know I think Grape plays it.
I'm
I
not
know-
sure who has
I know a lot
gotten
of
it
people
on
got
Steam
burnt
yet and
out.
played it.
Mm.
I don't know anybody who's gotten it on Steam yet and played it, but
I haven't,
Yeah.
but I need to download it because I have it because I had it on.
Oh right, yeah. But yeah, so they switched. So if you don't know the story, Bungie had a partnership with Activision. So Destiny 2 was one of the games that was on BattleNet or BNet or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Which stores the Blizzard Activision games. So like your Overwatch, WoW, StarCraft, Call of Duty, things like that.
Hearthstone.
Oh yes, Hearthstone. Oh yeah, of course, Hearthstone.
Heroes
yeah,
of
yeah.
the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm, yeah. The F's in the chat for Heroes of the Storm. You know, and they've recently ended their partnership with Activision, which was a controversial one because a lot of people said that, you know, like Bungie used to make Halo, right? These really beloved games, and Destiny certainly has a massive fan base, but a lot of people didn't like a couple of the business decisions that were made. Destiny 1, based on the experience of my friends at least, they said it felt very like chopped up in order to sell like future content as DLC
I
and
can see
things like
that
that.
1000%.
So they ended their partnership with Activision, and a component of that was that now they are releasing the game on Steam, which hopefully will probably create some goodwill. It also means that we're going to get to see, because like there's always a classic thing when games don't succeed. It's like, do people blame the developer or do they blame the publisher? And so if like Bungie's new game is just like Destiny 1 or whatever, then we'll know who to blame.
Wait, if it turns to be trashed and then like it's no longer part of Activision, then they know it wasn't, or it's
It
no
wasn't
longer
just
part
Activision.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
if they're not on Bina anymore and then it does really bad, they're like, oh well, it wasn't like on their side. It's clearly their side.
yeah, exactly. So I'll be really, and they've mentioned now that they're going to release a new game by, I think the date in that article says 2025.
Yeah, 2025.
Yeah, which would be really interesting. So we'll get to see like
I don't
Titan come out with a
know
new
why
game.
they gave us such a far out date, because it's not like, unless they plan on supporting Destiny 2 up until that point, which I don't think any games had content coming out unless it's like a MMO or something.
Yeah, I think that's actually. I was thinking about this. That very thing. Like, if you're into like a live service game, that like the whole premise of it is like these ongoing microtransactions, and which maybe you might be able to justify it by being like, well, this game is going to be supported for a long time in the future. You must get pretty nervous when you start hearing about like, oh, we're working on a new game. You're like, like how much longer is my game going to be? I think it's also funny.
Zeus.
Oh yeah,
Zeus.
Zeus taking off. Oh, take it easy. It was good to see you.
Night Zeus.
I'll be really interested to see exactly how this turns out. And also, since they were able to give such a specific thing, like, hey, we're releasing a new game by 2025, why can't Bethesda tell me when the Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out even a little bit? Like, why can't they tell me anything?
Teased so long
I
ago
mean,
as well.
they did kind of give you a general
He's
ballpark.
last
They're
year,
like,
right? With only a teeny tiny bit.
Yeah, it was a year.
It was like
Yeah,
a title
they did a
screen.
little shot, which like it to be fair to them, like at least allowed us to, with certain certainty of probability, figure out where the game was set and things like that. And Todd Howard said in an interview, I think he said, this is going to be part of the next console generation, which now knowing how soon that's probably coming up is not very surprising at all.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't be
isn't there?
surprised
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guy.
I was gonna say, isn't there new games supposed to come out by 2021? They're like their new
I was
IP.
gonna say,
Okay.
yeah, because I was gonna say it has to be some kind of. If it's not gonna be a launch title, it's gonna be somewhat kind of after launch with how people are with Elder Scrolls. It's gotta be sometime soon after that. Like, Grand Theft Auto 6, I feel like they're not going to release that until the new consoles are coming out. Because if anything, they'll just do a dual release for last console generation, next console generation.
Which is
And it's
crazy
been a
'cause
very long
this-
wait. Like it'll be, like Skyrim came out in 2011.
Yes.
Oblivion came out in
2019 now, so that's they've had like 9 iterations of Skyrim between now and then. So.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we waited 5 years, probably 10, and yeah, part of that is like them like so. Bethesda's kind of confusing, as we've talked about before, in terms of how they distribute their developers. But like Bethesda Game Studios is the studio that actually does the development, the legwork of development for Elder Scrolls and Fallout. With the exception of Fallout New Vegas, which is developed by Obsidian. And it's like, I was super bummed out that they took time to work on Fallout 76. It's like, it's supposed to be, you release a Fallout, then an Elder Scrolls, then a Fallout. Like, be nice to me, please.
There's like a formula.
And-
It was kind of like COD. Like, they would rotate through the developers.
That's right, through like Treyarch and Infinity Ward.
And then Infinity Ward, yeah.
And like, I would have loved something like that for this. And it's like, so you released Fallout 4 in 2015, as I recall. And then Fallout 76 was the next one. And like, Fallout 76 has a fan base, but none of the fan base thinks it wasn't a disappointment.
Yeah, I don't think I know
I
anybody who was like...
I guess from that you could also say that they were working on Elder Scrolls Online expansions throughout that too. But
That's actually a different studio
Yeah.
that works
Oh,
on
that's
that.
a different
That's the
studio,
ZeniMax
okay.
Online studio. Yeah. The now they must share resources, right? Because
Yeah,
surely
because it's all
they want to make it
done by
vaguely
Bethesda.
lore friendly. It's not. It's fun fact about Elder Scrolls Online, by the way. It's not actually fully lore friendly, which is like bothers me on like a fundamental deep level
Of
because it's
course,
like
it bothers you.
it's like you had the people. You just why don't you just pick up the phone and be like, hey, does this conflict with anything? And so you call me like I'll like maybe I don't know, call up some fans or something, and they couldn't manage to do
Just have a
that.
fan like panel and be like,
Mm.
am I breaking any rules here? And this is like all in favor, all
Yeah.
against, and like, all right, done.
Do you know how
And-
many like fans sometimes are even better than some of like the other people that are supposed to be on the projects just because of how enthusiastic they are about stuff? I've gone to panels at like anime conventions and stuff on different video games and different animes, and they will go so far in depth about something.
Mhm.
It's like, and they'll go on for like as long as they can go. Like for like a panel at an anime convention could be like an hour and a half or something like that, and they could definitely have gone on for even longer, like for like the entire time.
Yeah, some of the most interesting stuff in the is actually watching like the WoW lore panels with like the guys who write the lore for WoW.
Mhm.
Like that's like the most in-depth stuff you've ever seen, the most knowledgeable fans in the world. But this also has released that Starfield game. Have you guys been following
yeah.
what little there is to follow of that?
I know of it, but
They didn't
besides,
talk
like, the
about it at this
name,
year's
I don't
E3
really-
either.
No,
I
I
don't
think
know
Trev's
anything.
about where Todd Howard is on it right now,
Yeah.
which is like I think he knows about it, but he's not really sure what it is or what's coming out.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
But it is coming out, so they've got that to work on. That's a lot of stuff, and those games are huge. Is the thing, right? Like, there's a reason it takes years to make a Persona game, right? It's because there's a lot to do, right?
They hate us,
And
man. They hate
sorry.
us. They hate us. They just want us to wait 5 years.
Yeah. And like with Persona as well, like usually when it comes out, like it's you might have to deal with new hardware and things like that, right? Like not every time, of course, but certainly this time. And Persona 5 actually came out for the PS3 and PS4.
Mhm.
Which is really interesting, and regrettably not for the Switch. I was really hoping it was going to come out on the Switch.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on everybody in the Nintendo Switch subreddit was so angry when they found out the Persona 5S was just Persona 5 Scramble.
That's such a troll move. I feel like if you're just
It really kind of was. I mean, I'm gonna play the game. I'm probably gonna enjoy it. If there's a special edition for it, I want it. But if anything, I really hope that the Royal does well, which it will, because Persona 5 did really well, and with new content, it's gonna do really well. I'm hoping maybe after that they possibly will put it on Switch. But the thing is, I don't really see them doing it, I guess. Maybe they will if enough people like make a really big like upset about it, maybe. But I don't like most of the time I don't see a lot of like PlayStation exclusives going anywhere else because they want them to stay exclusive because they do well on the PlayStation. Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War.
Like,
Exactly.
Oh yeah, things like that definitely, and especially with Spider-Man and God of War, definitely not going to go anywhere.
Nope.
And especially since it's made by Insomniac, which has a history of making PlayStation exclusives like Resistance and the original Spyro,
and then
games.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
And Ratchet and Clank. That's a great point. Yeah,
I think from what I've heard, maybe the next Sunset Overdrive is probably going to be on the PlayStation.
No, Microsoft.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Microsoft owns the publishing rights to them. They have to they have to approve it, but they own the IP, I believe. Also,
it could be just a rumor because I could have sworn I saw like an article about that maybe Sunset Overdrive 2 was going to be on there. But it could have just been a rumor.
That would be interesting.
although Insomniac is owned by Sony now. Which
It is owned by
That's
Sony
true.
now.
Yeah,
That's true.
and they've worked together on many
I wonder if I can
projects.
find it again. I think I saw it on Tumblr.
One of the first experiences I had with Persona 5 was I was working in the lab and we had it was like a new guy working who had like just started, and he was like, "You play Persona 5?" I was like, "No, I haven't played it yet." And he was like, "Well, you got to watch a video of the menus." And I was like, "A video of the menus? Like, who gives a shit about the menus?" Like, and then I watched the video of the menus, and
you got to go in there.
fuck, Like the menu, like looking at the menus, like just seeing how beautiful they are, like it's actually amazing. And I was like, all right, you convinced me. Like if they put this much work into the menus, they must put a lot of fucking work into the game.
I remember when I fucking saw that trailer, I was just like, my god. Because I bought Persona 4 on the Vita when that came out. Because I was one of the fucking few people that bought the Vita at launch.
Nice.
So I bought when that came out. I was like, all right, I gotta play it. And then I was like, this is sick. And then I'm like, we need to wait. And then I had to wait like 7 years for them to release Persona 5. And then I remember seeing that trailer of those menus, and I was just like, my god, these menus are so stylized.
See, that's the thing that I love about the Persona series, Persona 5 especially, because like I am a person that goes by art style and presentation quite often in like the kind of games that I like to play. And Persona 5 is definitely probably number one in terms of stylized, like stylish gameplay. It's very stylish. And it's interesting. Like, yeah, the menus, like one of my favorite things is like when I'm in a palace and like Joker just pops up and just slaps the screen, and I don't know, like there's just something really interesting about that, you know? I think some people, like some maybe developers, overlook art style sometimes because sometimes they just want their games to look as realistic as possible. When like putting work into stylistics and like making your game look interesting versus just realistic, I think that honestly would probably catch the eyes of more people than they probably think. I mean, because like think about the Lion King live action remake. Like all they really went off of with that was how realistic they could make the animals. Like it wasn't an enjoyable movie. And I've talked about it before because I hate it. But it wasn't enjoyable, to be quite honest. Like for a remake, with the music and everything, like it just nothing was stylish about it, nothing was fun about it. It was just, you know, animals, and that was it. So yeah, I definitely think that completely like more developers should think about
That's a good point though, when you said that like they overlook art style and they want to make everything realistic, because I feel like a lot of people who play games, or like a lot of people who used to play games, played games not for the realism of it, but for just because they know it's not realistic.
Well,
like,
and that kind of goes into no, go ahead, Trev.
Like I know a lot of people who used to play COD just because it wasn't realistic. And then I knew the people, like my friend's dad was a ex-Marine, and he would play COD and he'd be like super upset because he saw how everyone else was playing it and it wasn't like realistic, so he would play it as a Marine. And then he got really upset about everybody else playing it, like how everyone else plays COD, where he's like run and gun and like
exactly. You know, he must have had a tough time then. Like he's like actually trying to strategize as a Marine.
No, like he was
some
like
guy's running around like double speed sprint, just stabbing everybody. He's like, this wouldn't work.
He was that guy who would be okay with going 2-16 as long as he was doing what they were taught in the Marines.
But like going off of like what I was saying before, because we actually had that one article about Untitled Goose Game.
Yes.
And that right now is the best-selling game on Nintendo Switch. It's got a super simple art style. It's a very inexpensive game. It's got really simple gameplay, but at the same time, the art style is what makes it very interesting because it's simple, but it's really compelling. And the gameplay is also simple, but super fun. And again, like I think that there are some developers that like there's like multi-million-dollar developers that try to put as much as they can into these games, and they're so expensive, and they got all this other content that you can pay for also, versus some of these other games that are so small and inexpensive, like Stardew Valley for the longest time was the best-selling game one of the best-selling games on Steam, and on the Nintendo Switch. And they're very simple art styles, but somehow there's really nice art styles at the same time. They look really good. I was wondering, Melly, if you maybe were, because you kind of froze a little bit.
Yeah, you hadn't blinked in like a minute and a half, and I was like, I don't know, you're doing the staring contest.
Hardcore staring at Trev over here.
She's
But yeah, like that game is the best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch right now, and everybody's talking about it. There's a bunch of memes made about it. It's a super fun game, and it's super inexpensive.
really want to
And
buy it.
oh my god, Eric, I played it on my stream and it is hilarious. It is such a cute game.
I feel like that's one of those games that came out and like got super popular out of like nowhere as well.
Yeah.
Because like everyone was just talking about it like nonstop, and I was like, what the
Mhm.
fuck? And that's the only reason I know of
Yeah.
it. Because like as you guys know, I'm not a Nintendo person at all whatsoever.
Mhm.
But even I knew about the Goose Game.
Apparently, there's rumors of it coming into
Untitled
PC
Goose Game.
or Xbox. Was it Xbox or PC? I don't remember what I saw. But there's like rumors of it coming to a different
I
platform.
read that as well. That they were thinking about bringing it to other things. It's always tricky for indie games. Like ports require a lot of manpower, and if you don't put manpower into your ports, you get bad ports.
Yeah.
Which can ruin the reputation of a game entirely.
Already, that's actually a really good point because oh, there goes Mel. Aw. I know that even though I love these games, a lot of Square Enix games, the older Square Enix games, tend to do that. Chrono Trigger, I hear, is really not good on the PC because the port for that is the mobile port. From what I've heard.
Ooh.
And now, like, I just heard about this too because I was actually thinking about getting them. Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 are now on the Switch, and I guess those aren't doing very well because those are also the mobile port, which isn't great.
Yeah, that
wanna know a
always
terrible
blows my
port?
mind.
And I'm
was
sorry
it
that Bleeze isn't here, but Arkham Knight
Oh,
for PC was such a terrible port.
Nothing's gonna be worse
Hi,
than
Trinsic.
the Silent Hill 2 and 3 ports to
Totally.
the Xbox 360. Those are god awful.
oh my god. Yeah, the Silent Hills had a rocky history. Konami has a rocky history with like releasing stuff. Actually, yeah, it's always disappointing when that happens. And it seems like it's always weird to me when there's a bad PC port because it's like
Yeah.
it's the PC. A modder's gonna fix this.
Yeah, like
Like-
at some point in time, like the amount of stuff they've been able to do, with, like Skyrim alone and Fallout. Like,
Why that's amazing.
Why wouldn't they be able to fix it? Like,
Did you ever hear about that alien colonial marines thing that happened like a couple months ago or like a year ago? Apparently,
What was that about? I had heard about that.
so the AI was so broken, and apparently someone went into one of the text files of the game, changed something, and it instantly fixed all the AI's problems.
Yeah, they that's the disaster. Aliens Colonial Marines, for those people who don't know the story, it's a Gearbox game. Gearbox makes Borderlands, and also made Battleborn. And it was like Aliens Colonial Marines was like comically bad. And it was comically bad relative to what they showed that it was going to look like and be like as well. And it was also, but the thing is, it was also around the same time as Borderlands 2. So like Gearbox was able to build up like a lot of goodwill, right? Because Borderlands 2 is so good.
Eric is sugar Melly.
It was so. That's correct. Yes.
We had Melly here, Trinsic, but her computer's been acting up, so she's kind of in and out a tiny bit.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Sugar
Eric
Melly is
subs
not just a
in.
person; it's also a rank, right?
A rank!
Eric subs in every so often.
I've
yeah.
made it there, guys. I'm glad you could be here to witness this moment. I've made it to the Sugar Melly level.
Yeah. It doesn't come with a pay increase, but it comes with an increase in cameras. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
It's scary.
But yeah, and what Eric's saying, that's just 100% what happened. It was like it was so rocky, and then someone went in and changed it, and it wasn't even like what they did was very impressive, right? Like they didn't go in and rewrite all the pathing or something like that. Like it was just like a small set of changes, and it was fine.
I imagine you can expand more on this, but because you do AI with stuff, but like, what would that have constituted? Where they was it like just a test didn't run that like they were figuring out why it was working so badly, or like they just cut it and released it as is and didn't care, or
I mean, that's a really good question, and none of the things that like when I've written AI and something like didn't work like that, like I have a barrage of tests that I'd run it through to make sure everything was working properly,
but it
and
wasn't
then
something as simple as like, oh, this is the wrong thing, and then I'm gonna
that I
delete it.
don't know because I'm not sure what they did. Like it could be that someone like had a call to like an old thing that didn't work properly, and then they just like, oh, for some reason someone passed in a parameter to this line of code that's wrong. I guess in theory that's what it could be. I just can't see anyone being that bad, to be honest. Like if you're an actual, but then again, one of the things about AI programming and like programming in general is like you can be an AI programmer, you can be a graphics programmer, or you can just be a programmer that like you just got roped into working on the AI for this game now. Like even if it's not like your thing, right? It's like maybe you're just not an AI guy, and you're a programmer, so they gave you the AI. I'm not sure. I should see if they have. Well, there's no way they have their source code released, even though the game is trash, and there'd be no reason. But like, there's no way that's public.
Oh, we just got hosted by Video Game Bang for 5 people.
Nice.
Hello,
Alright.
Video Game Bang, and welcome
And
to
their
the
people.
community. I don't know if you know any
There's
of
a
us.
Sorry.
You probably don't, because I don't recognize that name, and I don't think anybody here recognizes that name.
No idea. No.
But thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Were you doing something similar? Along the lines of like a talk show or something like that? Or were you just streaming games and you wanted to host someone in the category?
Did we ever fix the shout out command that makes that so we can see what they were doing?
Hey, I found out what the problem was, so they did have it released there. It was someone misspelled a word. So this is actually a really common coding error where like this is like happens in coding where like you'll write a method that does something and like it's got a certain name, and then later on you'll call that method and you'll spell it wrong and your function call won't work. But like I can't believe that was the error. That anybody should have caught that.
Well, because I imagine that you have AI that picks up errors that would have presented problems down the line. So like it should be something as easy as running that program, finding an error, and then be like, oh, okay. It's kind of like autocorrect when you're writing a paper.
Yeah, if you like in code, you should have things like, okay, I write something, now I'm going to immediately test it to make sure that thing works. And like when it didn't work, because like as Eric said, like it very clearly didn't work. Like it was broken, and that should have like set off alarm bells and be like, okay, this wasn't supposed to be broken. What happened? That is just so disappointing. It's even dumber than what I thought the mistake was. Like way worse.
You were giving these people too much credit.
Oh my god, I can't even. That makes me so angry now. Like I'm getting more upset about it as it's going on.
And
Like,
it took a whole 7 years to fix it, dude. A whole 7 years. And
Is it radioactive? If you get bit by it, are you going to be in spider gland?
7, yes, literally
know.
7 years. Like that's like you could do a master's degree and PhD in under 7 years. Like
I bought the collector's edition because I used to work at GameStop, and it was like
Okay.
$5.
Hey, you too?
Yeah, I used to work at GameStop.
That's where you met Ash, actually.
It's exactly where I'm at. It's sitting
Okay.
right. It's sitting right here, next to my fucking Vita. It's the shelf of disappointment.
Hey Eric, do you have an Ouya?
No, God, no.
I was just following the pattern.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's cool though. It was
It is
$5.
cool.
It was
Yeah.
$5. Oh man, I used to live for that shit. When you just wait till things got super discounted and you just had a shit ton of collector's edition and you just buy them for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's.
I have a lot of collector's editions.
See, I only recently started doing collector's editions, so I feel like I missed out on a lot. And I feel like that was a
See,
lot
I'm not-
because like when I was younger, I didn't have money and I couldn't be like, yo, get this for me. And it's like $100-something.
Yeah.
See, I'm not doing it as much now because a lot of collector's editions are just kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Well, like
I
the Final
mean-
Fantasy one, that one that is 2, and the one is like $300.
It's $350, I believe. But it's not even a collector's edition because it's just the deluxe edition, and it also comes with the
The statue, I think, and that's the only.
It's not a
difference, isn't
statue.
it?
It's a Play Arts Kai figure of Cloud on his motorcycle, and you can actually get that separately on the Square Enix website. So it's not actually a collector's edition.
See, that's a
Where-
good point. Like selling things separately really confuses me. Like, because I'll get them separately anyways. Like, if there's a collector's item I want, I'll get it from eBay. I'll just be
Yeah.
like, I'll just get that like one particular thing. But like the fact that they formally were selling it is insane.
Yeah, and that's exactly
I feel like
why.
that defeats the purpose of the collectors. Like,
That's exactly why I was really disappointed with the Kingdom Hearts 3 one, because I actually thought it was a collector's edition. And I should have thought, like, I should have known this a little bit better, because it did say Kingdom Hearts 3, it was like Kingdom Hearts 3 Deluxe Edition plus bring arts figures. That's
Yeah,
how they
I was gonna
put
say,
it.
wasn't that the one that like came with either Donald, Goofy, or Sora, and it was like
It
a
was all three of
small,
them,
like-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not that great condition either, let me tell you.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they're not great condition at all. I could have just waited and gotten it on eBay like a couple of months later because they weren't that great. Not to mention, like, when I think of a collector's edition, everything in that comes with that collector's edition should fit in the collector's edition box with each other.
Yes.
That's what I think.
I feel like collector's
it's not
edition should be like little gift boxes that like everything in it, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eric pre-ordered 2 of them.
Yeah, I did. Well, because
I would actually like to, but I don't see myself playing the game too much. I just want the statue.
I want the backpack for some stupid reason. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I want the backpack, dude. But I
That Melly
want it.
also wants the backpack.
Yeah, I pre-ordered 2 of them because I was like, I knew they were gonna sell it super quick, so I was like, I gotta pre-order because Best Buy doesn't charge you until the week of launch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In case you ever want to pre-order something and you guys didn't know. So I was like, I'll fucking pre-order both and I'll cancel one of them at some point when I decide which one I want to
You
keep.
could try to flip it too, because I know a lot of people.
No, I'm not gonna flip it, dude. I had 2 copies of Persona 5 and I was just too lazy to flip my second one, so I gave it to my sister.
Was that the
And my
game
sister
that you
enjoyed
bought
it.
2 of and you were gonna like return and then like get your money back because you had the same SKU? So then, because I remember you were doing that with one game. You like bought multiple copies, but it was cheaper if you got it at one place and you were gonna return it from the other place.
Yeah, that was Persona 5. But like I said, I ended up giving it to my sister, who played the shit out of it and is into it now. So.
What's really great about that collector's edition too is that I love it when collector's editions are not that much and come with a bunch of stuff. That one came with the Steelbook game plushie of Morgana, art book, the side bag, and the box that it came in too, I kind of consider part of it because everything could fit in there and it was a really cool looking one.
Yep,
and then it also came with the soundtrack. That's what I thought that was. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm like, I think that's the Persona 5 Deluxe Edition or Premium Edition because I have that in my room. What's really great about that bag too is that I do cosplay and I've cosplayed as Ann, especially that works with her because I wasn't sure about the bag. I was like, this thing's got to be like this big, right? And it was an actual full size school bag, like a Japanese school bag.
My sister uses it for school actually, and because I visit her, she lives in Texas, and so I visit her, and I'm like, "Oh, you actually use it for school?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I actually use it for the cosplays. Like, I just don't have a backpack. I just use that, and
that
it fits
bag
everything.
is already better than the Fallout bag that everyone was
Ooh.
promised.
Hey, although those people did get actual canvas bag.
They did.
Yeah.
Eventually, they did get their canvas bags. yeah.
Eventually.
They also got their information leaked.
They did.
Straight off.
But there are some collectors. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, who doesn't already have your information?
I mean, you know what? That's kind of a legitimate point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm always interested when because I feel like a lot of people want to go kind of halfway with privacy protection. It's like I don't know, people who be like, I don't want to use this because of my privacy. I'm like, yo, you have an iPhone. What are you at?
Yeah.
Find my iPhone. Like, all right, there you are, done.
But yeah, some collector's editions though lately have just not been great. They're not doing as many collector's editions either. Is this whole podcast based off
that is the
yes.
genesis of the
That
name,
is
and
the
only
pun.
one of us have ever played it.
I played
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say, I was like, none of us have played it except for.
I played
Okay, so now.
I'm sorry. I guess
now,
you played it.
Now we don't look like frauds. At least.
Yeah, now we have
played
2.
them.
But ironically, the person who came up with the name was not the person who played the game.
Yes, no, I just came up with the
So-
name because I thought it was a good name.
I'm glad you love it though. So credit to Trev, who's in the bottom right there, who runs the podcast. That's his name. He was the.
God, that game is so good. Oh, there she is.
Whoa.
Okay, let's see.
Welcome back.
Oh, we got an
Let's-
extra icon. Credit to
Gonna have
Travis.
to,
Yes,
Travis
indeed.
is a completely different person. Travis is actually someone else we know.
But yeah,
Did
when
I
it
point
comes
in the wrong
to
direction? Oh shit.
Did you?
No, that's me though. I'll raise my hand on so then he can ask. Or they
I
can
pointed
ask.
at my laptop, if that helps. Yeah, he's Trev, not Trav. Yeah. Travis is somebody else who maybe we'll eventually have on this show. We got to send him the application. He might actually fill it out too, because he's a lawyer and
yeah.
he's used to filling out shit. I would imagine. I don't know shit about lawyers.
I don't either.
But yeah, when it comes to collector's editions lately, though, like some of them can be really great. I mean, now for Sekiro, I completely forgot that it was a From Software game, and I regretted it. But it was only $89,
Yeah,
and I
I
liked
thought
that.
theirs was great. Like,
It was a
Did you
really
buy
good
it?
collector's edition. I
buy
did
it,
get it. Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking to me. No.
Well, I mean,
He definitely
either of
did.
you. Yeah.
Or where would he be?
I
What was
bought
in it? What was in
and
it?
It was
So it came with 3
coins,
coins, a little cloth map,
the,
Oh,
art,
the
and an
figure.
art book, steel book, the statue,
Okay.
a digital
map.
soundtrack. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you got a
map.
map.
And then if you pre-ordered it, you got a little sword katana
Yes,
letter
opener.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Cool. That's cool. That's pretty good for $90. That's not bad.
for $90. I thought that was absolutely wonderful.
So I don't know why there was such a giant price difference between the Sekiro one and the Spider-Man one, because the Spider-Man one was almost like $60
Basically the same
more.
thing.
Yeah, and it was
It did
essentially
come with-
the same stuff.
It did come with DLC, so it
Oh,
did come with
that is true.
it did come with a theme.
And the season pass. Yeah, you're right. I forgot.
Yeah, it was
about
the
that.
season pass, which had 3 of the stories DLCs, PS4 theme and the icons. And then you did also get some of the suits early, but you could unlock those in the game. So I
Yeah,
don't
it wasn't.
exactly
It
count
wasn't
that
like
long,
something that was exclusive to pre-ordering. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, you can get these now, or you can
Yeah.
do it while playing the game.
but the one that I was actually gonna bring up, because that one was $149, wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think that
Um,
was that terrible.
Yeah. Now the Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition only came with, it was a steelbook, a little
and
magnet
then
that goes on the steelbook,
statue, yeah,
and then the
head.
bust.
Yeah.
Was it Scorpion? Was that
Yeah,
who
it
it
was
was?
Scorpion.
Scorpion bust. That was $300.
I
Are
was
you serious?
I
They're
was
out of fucking mind.
really no.
You could
I
buy
almost
a Nintendo Switch with that, like a
Yeah.
whole video game system.
I almost bought
You
that
could
one.
buy a light and
but,
2
like,
games.
You couldn't actually wear the bust. If you could wear it,
No.
I would have bought it hands down. Just like wore it all day and be like, get over here.
Hey, but
And
think
let it-
about this. Think about this. People spent $200 and something for Fallout 76.
yeah, that
That's
is true.
crazy.
Yeah.
Can you even imagine how many bucks that would cost me? Like that's like ridiculous. Like I've been paying that off for years. Like,
It's like, all right, well, forget eating for a month. Like, I'm
yeah, exactly. Jesus.
Well,
Yeah.
my friend Sedona, she also got that collector's edition. And then hi Mel.
Hi.
I
Melly.
guess he was
She
back
Sorry.
also, it's okay.
again.
She also got that collector's edition, and then my friend Sedona is also, and I love her. She's amazing. She's also the type of person that will get the digital copy of the game as well, so she can play it right at launch.
That's
'Cause why
for
not?
like incredibly rich people, because I can't be shelling out an extra $60 or $80 just so I can play it on launch and then get the physical one as well.
Used bathwater. Oh my god.
That's insane. Although, going back to the Game Pass thing, one thing I like about the Game Pass Ultimate is you get to play their exclusives usually 4 days ahead of time, and you don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, that is. A
Oh,
good
I
thing
didn't
about
see
that.
that because
Yeah.
a lot of streamers use that to their advantage too. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, like unfortunately, the person I was watching was playing Anthem and they were checking it out early, but
Oof.
they still didn't get to play it early, and they could tell everybody beforehand, this game is trash. Cancel your pre-order.
Yeah. Yeah. Buying Anthem is a 0 out of 10 move. Don't do it.
We've said this before, but Rory tested the alpha and then I tested the beta, and we both came to the same conclusion that the game was trash.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was really blown away. Like you expect an alpha test to be kind of rocky, but like when the game works properly, you expect it to be good, and that was kind of where the
See,
game.
the thing that I was hearing about was some of my friends were talking about it when they got into the beta, and so they had to. One of my friends in particular had to wait 15 minutes to get into a waiting room to get into a lobby.
Sounds
So
like the
that's
Division.
so that's where they were. They waited 15 minutes to get into a lobby, and then had to wait another 20 minutes to get into a server. And then I think one of them said that they played for 10 minutes and then the game crashed on them.
Who would,
No,
ever,
it's like-
who would ever spend hours waiting to get into a server? I mean, that's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Right?
We don't know anybody like that.
Yeah. No.
Nobody who, like, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole first
Who
alpha,
would do that? Wow.
none of the
insane.
testers.
That is such a classic.
Yeah.
Right?
None of the testers got to participate really much in the first alpha because like things work so poorly that like we lost a whole 4 hours of alpha testing.
Oh my gosh.
It was real bad. And flying the javelin was like you put rockets on something that wasn't meant to be flown. Like you went out to the parking lot and put rockets on like a Honda Element or something and just launched it into the air. It was horrible.
That was quite the analogy.
Do you guys remember that though when the original Division first launched and like the problem with that game was that like you couldn't walk through other people, so people actually had to line up and like wait.
Oh
and
yeah.
lost so much
Yeah,
time.
that was
I
hilarious.
remember I got stuck in the apartment. I was like, I just want to leave.
Oh my god.
I want to go to Manhattan, please.
Thank God when me, Rory, and Tiff played it, and then when Beast joined later, we didn't play during that time crisis. We played right before they launched the second one. So
Yeah, exactly. That's the
Yeah,
best.
it-
That was the best time to play the first
Oh, it's
Anthem.
so good.
And you guys never played the
Yeah,
second
first
one,
Anthem.
right?
No, that's on our list though.
We're waiting until it goes on like because like we picked up the gold edition for $20.
Yeah,
like
that was the
on
one
a
that came
sale.
with like
Oh wait, for
everything.
Division?
Yeah, for
Of the,
Division.
of the
two,
division,
they're
yeah.
waiting.
It was the only reason we played it, to be honest, was like Tiff was like, "It's really cheap. Who wants to play with me?" And me and Trev were like, "Sure."
It's decent. My friend's cousin works at Ubisoft, so like I got the second one for like
okay.
for pretty cheap, but it's not bad. I mean, it's the story.
I heard it was an
still.
improvement on the first one.
There's no story still. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good with friends, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
Cheap
know.
is not always the way to go. We have figured that out with Battlefield 4.
Yes.
Oh, we spent so Eric, you don't know,
Oh,
but
no.
we
We
spent
bought
$5 on
Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4.
$5.
I had to download Origin.
And yeah, so we all downloaded Origin. We all installed Battlefield 4, which is like, I don't know, like 10 terabytes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we played
We were
and
confused as shit.
like Battlefield, I played Battlefield back in the day and it was all like custom servers. And that's what this is. So like everybody's server was set to like 4-hour game time limit or something. So like games took forever. They were marathons.
Yeah.
Like Trev had to get up and go get dinner in the middle of one of our games and he came back and we were still playing. Like it was
Did he leave his character in the map or
yes,
did
I
he-
left it in the
Uh-huh.
map.
yeah, he just
Yeah,
left.
it's so funny.
Like it like didn't even matter.
Like
And-
to put this in perspective too, we were playing it was capture the flag, and for that you had to go like to a point, sit on the point and take the enemy's flag down and then wait for your flag to go up. I am complete shit at first person shooter games, especially ones like these where they're like war type.
Yeah.
And I was coming in first for things because all I was doing was BMX biking it to each point and not shooting anybody. I got
Morgan-
0
Morgan-
kills.
Hardcore.
Morgan was playing like a whole other game of Battlefield, and we were all
He played
losing
with
at
your
Battle.
head.
Well, I was on Morgan's, but the people on the other team were all losing at Battlefield because someone wasn't playing Battlefield. That's
He
a
was playing Mirror's
that's
Edge.
a-
You guys were playing Battlefield.
No, that
Yeah, like,
Battlefield
literally.
4 to me, and Rory can attest to this, was Flight Simulator for my entire experience.
Yeah, oh my god. And then he
Yeah.
landed on Rory's head and killed him.
oh my god! Like literally, he was like, "That you?" And I was like, "Yup." And then I exploded. He landed.
Look,
a
I
jet
didn't.
on
I
my
didn't. To be
fucking
fair,
head.
I didn't know there was gonna be friendly fire like that. So when I came in and like suicided in, I was like, "Oh my bad, I just killed you."
Yeah, it was really rocky, and
I feel like this
and
is when I was trying to entice
Yeah.
Morgan into PC first-person shooters.
Oh my god. I don't know how I'm still here, guys, after Battlefield 4.
Yeah, Battlefield 4 was a
I remember,
rocky
like-
experience. Morgan knows how to play the fucking objective. Damn right. Morgan is might be the best Battlefield 4 player I know.
She actually does what you're supposed to do and captures
Yeah.
the flag.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
what I was
Trev
doing.
didn't let me. Trev was like, beforehand when Trev was like, "Hey, you want to play with us?" I was like, "Sure." I play pilot in Battlefield like back in the day, and they were like, "Cool, we need a pilot." And Trev did all the flying and crashed so many.
I crashed every single time. I was like, dude, I'm never gonna get this. And
I got him in my helicopter once, and he was like, "This is so smooth."
Yeah, I was
I'm like,
very confused.
Flight.
I was sitting there like trying to like fly for the good 3 hours, and after that, I was like, I give up. I was like, I'm just never gonna be good at this flying thing.
We all stopped. We've never. No, has any of us, Morgan? You've never played again.
Nobody
right?
has touched that
No.
since we
Yeah.
downloaded it.
We played 2
downloaded
games.
and uninstalled in that same day.
And
Each of
we
them were
downloaded
2
it to play with
hours
Paka
long.
too, and Paka
Yes.
wasn't.
Paka never played with us.
So we never played with Paka. Like that was just a lost cause.
I played it once, but I kept getting kicked because my ping was too high,
Oh.
which is weird.
Yeah, that's odd.
It wasn't
we were
'cause it
playing
was-
with Rory, and he's a completely different country, and his was fine.
Yeah. Might as well be a different continent when I was on that island. Like,
You need the
Yeah,
if you need
if
the
we-
best chopper
well, if
pilot,
we
hit me
ever-
up.
If we ever
Got
decide to
all-
make poor life decisions again,
Yeah,
and all
if you
download
ever wanna-
Origins and Battlefield 5 or 4, we'll hit you up.
But will he actually even be able to fly you because of how far he is? With his
Yeah,
ping?
that is true.
Oh.
He's across a body of water, dude.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And then they're
He
saying
played,
Melissa's got too
Overwatch
much,
with
too
us.
much
He's
doing pretty
ping.
good.
You're like, all right, get in, and then it just like you'll see him start going up, and he'll just crash. It'll just cut to you exploding.
It's like, oh. It's like, alright, I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, funny though.
Oh.
Nellie's meeting
He's got-
people.
Yeah, she was like mouthing stuff, and I was like, what? And I was like, I think she's
Yeah.
muted, but
Do we get to meet the people?
Hello,
No.
Melly people.
I think it's her roommate.
The sugar
'cause
people?
She said that earlier. She needed the room to be cleared, and I told him to just like kick them out, and I was like, it's fine.
Just
Yeah.
fight them.
Just
Whoever wins gets the room.
Whoever wins gets to be on
Hey,
the podcast.
Battle to the death, dude.
That's 2 out of 3. Wait, are they gamers? If they're gamers, they can totally be on this.
Is Melly the guest? Is Melly the host, or is it really the person on the other side? That's the real question. I think she's trying really hard not to laugh.
I think so too.
I'm gonna have to soon add in
on.
underneath. I'm
Hey,
gonna put Sugar Melly and Co.
Now on pay-per-view, dude.
Yeah.
Melly fights to the death.
Sorry, I'm back. Hi.
We were so confused. We just saw
Welcome
you
back,
now.
Mel.
We
Told you I live in a house with lots of people.
So Eric, you often claim to be well, you don't often claim. You put it in your Twitter bio that you are at it's Spinachy's best friend.
Well, I mean, I took it off because
Oh, did you actually?
yeah, I did. But I did have it on there for a really long time.
So how long have you known Ash? You've known Ash for
You want to tell? You want me to tell you the first time I met Ash?
that was the
that was-
GameStop story, right?
Yeah. So I was in a GameStop. It was and it was on Halloween. It was 2013. And my boss was like, "Yeah, you can dress up for Halloween," and your boy was like, "I'm gonna go find a costume." So I go to my nearest Halloween store. I find an Angry Birds costume. I'm like, "That's the one." I buy the Angry Birds costume. I wear it to work, and then here rolls up Ash, and she's laughing, and she's like, "I like your Angry Birds costume." I'm like, "Thanks." This internal sorrow. I'm like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever done," and then we became friends. And then we've been friends
Nice.
since.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she met me. The time she met me is I was wearing an Angry Birds costume.
I feel like is that the secret to making friends? Like just
wearing Angry
Angry Birds
costume at work.
costumes?
Yeah, at work.
Do you remember what bird you were? Because I know there's different birds in that game. Were you the
I
red
think it was
one,
just.
the
I think it was just the
yellow
red one. I'm pretty sure it was just the red
Just
one.
the main one.
Yeah.
Do you think it would? You think you would have been friends with Ash had you been one of like the
Yeah,
lesser?
do you think it would have gone differently if you're like the black?
Honestly, if I would have picked the yellow one, dude, I don't even think we would have been ever.
He had
talked
been a
to-
pig, like
Yeah,
one of
dude.
those pigs.
Oh, dude, for
Yeah.
sure, we wouldn't have been. It would have been over, dude. At that point, she'd be like, "Hey, you're a fucking pig, dude," and I'm like, I know, dude, and then that's it. That would have been over for me, dude. No friendship anymore, dude.
So then, how did you find out about her streaming? Did she tell you that she was doing it, or like did you just randomly like?
So like we would talk like because she would come into this because she used to work at the store that I transferred to and worked at. So she would come in there to shop, and so like we would talk about random shit. And then like I think we eventually actually became friends, and I went to Comic-Con with her. I think I don't know. I don't remember if I went to Comic-Con with her before she started streaming or after she started streaming. I think it was before though.
You guys
'cause I
have been
think
going for
she's-
a long time, so I think.
Yeah.
It was, I wanna
So
say it was
2014, I needed a place to stay, and then she was like, you can stay with us, and you just pay rent. You pay this much, and I was like, sick. And then that's when we became like really good friends. And then like I friended her on social media and stuff like that. And like I would randomly see her post on her Facebook, oh, I'm streaming on Twitch, and I'm like, this is weird, all right? What's Twitch? And then I would open, and she'd be streaming fucking Hearthstone on her MacBook in like a fucking pitch black room with her freaking PlayStation headphones, the freaking gold ones.
Damn.
And I was like, man, what a time! And I followed her.
How far she's come from that?
Yeah, dude. It went from some wholesome room streams of her just playing Hearthstone to this, you know, bringing us all together. You know what I'm saying?
Now she got that check mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't have any awareness of Twitch beforehand at all?
I did, but like I didn't really use it. I think I used it mostly to watch the Mega 64 podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah. A lot of
'cause-
people have that like use case experience with Twitch, where like they used it. Like I think before I like started becoming like a Twitch user, I used it to watch E3 from time to time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, and stuff like that. And I know Morgan used it for like AGDQ and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I would use it mostly for that because my ex, she used to watch a lot of Mega 64, and I would, I made an account, I would watch stuff like that, and so that's what I mostly used it for. And then I think it wasn't until she started streaming and like I started watching all her streams and stuff like that where I actually started venturing out and watching a bunch of other different channels. So it was mostly because of that I kind of started doing more stuff on Twitch.
Explaining to people who don't play video games what Twitch is a
Very
nightmare.
confusing.
You can
It's
say,
like literally impossible.
you can just
like-
say, imagine being on a couch watching your brother play video games. Now imagine doing that on the internet. That's Twitch.
That's pretty good, actually. That's
Yeah.
probably. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna steal
that's-
that now.
Yeah.
That's mine.
we're gonna
crazy.
clip that, and whenever someone has a question on what Twitch is, we're just gonna show them that clip, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Ah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
interesting."
Yeah, put your questions of what Twitch is in the comments. The what we should trust. What's
That is
Twitch
really
sends
good,
Twitch
actually.
clips.
It's always so weird, like talking to like no offense to older people, but to older people. when like they'll be like,
to be
so
fair, I don't
what's like
think
a
older
hobby of
people are
yours?
on Twitch, so I think you're good
No.
there.
There's that grandpa gamer guy. Oh, dude.
I'm
There's that
gonna
old
clip,
lady,
clip
too.
this and
She
email
does-
this in an email
She,
chain letter.
I think her name's Shirley or something. She's like some older lady.
Oh no, she does YouTube. I think mostly.
Yeah, I think she streams.
Yeah,
right
I don't think
now.
she's on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't think she streams.
But like trying to explain to people like, what's a hobby of yours? I'm like, oh, I'm a streamer. And they're like, a what? Like Netflix? And I'm like,
Yes, she streams
okay,
on
so
Netflix.
and I'm like, so I play video games and people watch me online. And I tried to explain this to like this. She was an 82-year-old woman.
Yeah, good
And
luck
she
with
was
that.
just
That's-
like, she literally looked at me and she was like, do you do anything else?
Yeah,
She's like, what about knitting? Or
like like Twitch is like you have to start at like another intermediate before you start introducing like older people to Twitch. I always remember one of my buddies was working as a tour guide, and one of the ladies
wait,
who
for
was
the
working
church?
there.
The-
Yeah, that's
in
right. Yeah, one
Russia
of the
we
ladies
stand.
who was the one. Yeah. One of the ladies who was working there was like figuring he was a young person, so he can help with the technology, and was like, "Can you show me how to send this fax?" And he was like, "Nah, I really can't. Why don't you, since I know what you're trying to send here, why don't you just send it in email?" And she was like, "Well, we can't use email because I need to send a picture with it." He was, oh my god! Like, try explaining Twitch to that lady. Like, good fucking luck.
It's like, oh yeah, you need an image with it. Oh, you're out of luck. You can't do that.
Yeah, like
Old lady who streams WoW in Swedish. She's doing.
Oh, that's pretty
well.
cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's really sweet. But like,
what do you
even
think
some young people,
those people's stories are like the older people who like do that stuff, like that old lady who does like Skyrim on YouTube. Like,
I don't know. Like, I wonder. Like, so like my dad is a gamer. Like, my dad's not like super old or something. Like, I'm 26 and he's like, I don't know, however old. I actually don't know how old he is. I'm sure he's got an age, and it's not like ridiculously high. And like he like for him, it was like you ever hear like the term roguelike for games? Well, he's like he played Rogue, like the original Rogue that term even comes. So that's what he started out as, and just like kind of kept playing video games, I guess, right? And like. So like I wonder if they were like that now. Like for really old people, they had to have started later, right? Because these people like predate video games by like a lot.
You should like, convince your dad to start an account and call him Talkto Dad.
Talkto Dad? That's not a bad name as far as names go, actually.
I think what it is with a lot of people too is that they're the people who started like 1986, you know, with Super Mario on the original NES. I think that's what quite a few, probably if you do ask them, obviously it's not going to be everybody, but I'm sure that quite a few of them are going to be like, oh yeah, you know, I played on the very first Nintendo system back in the 80s. And that's just what kept them going, I think, probably also.
You know, I've actually heard a story from a client on why they started playing games, because I work at it's like, she brought in her computer and it's like, I'm having problems with my computer. I mostly play Diablo 3 on this because my son gave this to me for that reason, and now I play Diablo 3 all the time. I'm like, and I was just like sick. And she was like, because I legitimately verbally was like sick, and she was like, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
But
yeah, so
I have them guest on here.
Yeah,
but I've been noticing that a lot of the time it's people just like their kids will give them like a computer and they're like, here, you should do this, and then they're usually like, this is a waste of my time, and then they just end up doing it. Like they just end up playing video games. So I feel like that's a lot of it's that too.
That's awesome. That can go totally either way.
Yeah,
like,
it's either like I'm not doing this, or like this is a waste of my time, or
so,
like I really love this.
My cousin gave my aunt a tablet, right? Not like an iPad or like a tablet you'd expect. Yeah, he gave her, and this was like a couple years ago. He gave her a Chinese tablet, and I'm 90% sure he did it just to fuck with me, because he knows that anytime she had a problem with that thing, I'd be the one she called. So like I spent like 2 years debugging this like Chinese thing. I'm like, what is this? So yeah, I'm always interested to see when like people buy their parents' technology, how it goes, because it can go like either way. Like my mom was like not a technology person at all, and now like she can't live without her iPad, right, or like her smartphone now.
At least they've made the evolution to that, because I still know people who are like, I don't know how to do this with my phone. It's like my mom, like sometimes she'll have me like take pictures and stuff, and then like she'll like, I want it to like face me though, and I'll just like click the button and it'll like flip, and she's like, well, how'd you do that? I'm like, you see this little icon that has like the arrows, and you just click that, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I feel like older people like the bit emojis a lot.
yes,
yeah, I've noticed that actually. My aunt uses those all the time. Literally. I really love the stories too. Like, I was at work the other day and a lady came in and she had played all the Legend of Zelda games. Like she was talking to me about like her favorite, and she was like, oh, I love Ocarina of Time, and you know, like that was a 90s game, so that's been a while. But I really love the stories of like some like people who do get into video games all like bit later in life, and then they just figure out that, oh my god, like I'm a gamer, I really like video games. I met one woman who hadn't started playing games until like maybe her 40s, I think. And she, I think she said that she maybe started out with The Legend of Zelda, possibly. And then just like she played a bunch of those, and then she found out like she really liked single player games. Like I think she originally, or she eventually played Skyrim and then started playing games like those.
I feel like
And
40
you know,
is
it's
pretty late for like starting
Yeah.
that. Like I don't think I'd ever think of like somebody who's 40 being like, "Oh, I'm gonna start gaming now." It's like
Well, it wasn't
usually you
even
think
that I'm
of,
just
like-
gonna start gaming. She just started playing games that like had been her kids' games, and then she just ended up really liking them and just wanted to play more of them is the thing. So I was really like, I love seeing stories about that too, because I think it's nice, especially because I like just talking to other gamers, and I like it when people are gamers, and I can talk to them about different stuff.
Yeah, like, you have like common ground, and it's easier than like being like with that other lady. It's like, so you doing anything else? It's like, well,
Yeah.
you weren't getting anywhere
See,
with that lady.
And I hate it when people try to say that like gaming's not a hobby, like you can do something else. It's like, that it's the same exact thing. I'm spending my time, like I could knit something. Like yeah, I could make a quilt, right? Like I could make a
Or you
quilt.
could beat a boss in this game that you've been trying to do for like 10
Yeah.
hours and feel
Or
amazing.
also, I could get on Discord on Overwatch.
Yeah,
and
and then
play with a bunch of my friends, and I'm playing a game. I'm in I'm moving my hands. I am it's hand-eye coordination. That like I'm using all of that stuff, and I'm also being social with other people.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's why it does bother me. Like, and that is also actually why I like it when I meet people who are older that not just that they like video games even, but they're supportive of it, I guess.
Totally.
But yeah, I totally like that. But it's because like this is a hobby, like I've met friends, I talk to friends when I play, and Twitch especially, being very interactive because it's all live.
yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely
like,
interactive, especially in this
very.
capacity.
Like, I used to, sorry to cut you off, but I used to go
Nope,
to
you're
certain
right.
chats just for the chat. Like I wouldn't care what they were
Oh,
streaming. I'd just go and be
totally.
like I could hate the game and I'd be like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just gonna talk to everybody else.
That's a huge part of the experience. And I'll watch a game I don't like played by a streamer I think is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because the personality, is like, a big part of it for at least for the way I watch games.
I think that's like me for Tiff because like
Jenny Fear, that's what she's called.
I'll pretty much watch to play anything. Like I watched her play Doki Doki and like I don't like that game whatsoever.
Right? Yeah.
Watch
Yeah.
her
You don't
play,
like. To be honest, you don't like most of the games. Tip.
He doesn't like
Yeah.
a lot of.
I don't like a lot of games. But
Trevor's
I've
like a
sat through
picky
and
eater with
watched
video
her.
games.
Yeah.
It always blows my mind when like,
Tarkov.
older people don't understand video games, but they're totally fine with like chess. I'm like, you realize this is literally almost the same thing, right? It's like
Fire Emblem and chess,
this idea.
like
Basically
Fire
the same.
Emblem's just a little bit different,
You can
Just-
romance
just
in
a tad.
Fire Emblem. You can't romance in chess.
You can't.
Like literally,
on.
I like the logical extension of strategy board games like chess and Go and shogi is the existence of games like StarCraft and XCOM. Like it's literally the same idea extended to new dimensions.
There's a storyline along with it, it's just like reading an interactive book,
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
remember those. It was like, oh, flip to page 78 to see your results.
Now they're just visual novels.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
essentially
God.
what games have become. They've become like, especially heavy like story-based games. Like, I know The Witcher have books that they're based off of, but like, the game is somewhat like a continuation of those stories and books.
It's the same thing as watching a movie, except this time you're playing as the
Yeah.
main character
Yeah,
instead.
yeah. I was reading about shogi the other day. Cool. In what context? In like a rule set context or like a history context? Shogi's really cool from like an AI perspective. They've written some. Google has recently worked on some really cool stuff that plays shogi at like an expert level and defeats professional players. I was watching an anime and it came up. Oh, and then that inspired you to read about it. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Hey, was it maybe Hunter
Count watching
Hunter?
an anime as reading. Yeah, I realize now what you.
Hunter x Hunter.
I know Shogi comes up in that during a super crazy arc, but that's a really good show.
I need to finish that anime.
I need to as well.
Sorry, what anime is this? Sorry.
Hunter x Hunter or Hunter Hunter?
Oh, Hunter x
I
Hunter.
call it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I watched like a little bit of that, and I was like, "This is too much of a commitment. Bye bye." And
I
then
love
I never
it.
watched any more of it.
It's from the same writer as Yu Yu Hakusho, and that's absolutely one of my all-time favorite mangas ever.
I was
was watching an anime,
Yeah, I
heard the
looked it up
name
and read
of it.
about it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's part of like a broader class of board games that are like really big in like AI research right now because they're really complicated and they have a lot of possibilities.
There was also a robot that beat a player in shogi. Wait, are you talking
Yeah,
about the
it's
anime or?
Oh, like in the game or in the
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are you
Do you
talking
mean
about
like
real
real
life?
life?
Or, like an AI or like?
If you're talking about real life, then definitely there. The Sorry, I didn't mean to turn this. I don't want to turn this into like an education stream. All of a sudden,
He said
like,
real
take over the
life.
podcast. And
Well, no, I put in the tags for the stream educational, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
We're
Yeah.
learning
We're good.
Nice.
Yeah.
The
I had to cover all of our bases.
someday I actually want to do that, but like I'm like really nervous about doing
Of what,
like
like
an actual
math?
proper
Like if
educational
if you're gonna do a
stream.
math one, I'll just give you the stream key, and then you can just do the cause
I'll do like
Stick
no,
it
not
out.
like a podcast. Jesus, no.
Oh, okay.
My own stream, like doing like an actual proper like educational stream about AI.
I thought you meant like force us into like learning calc or something. I was
No,
like,
no,
oh,
fuck
I
no,
don't-
no. No, I have a don't worry, I have a group of people here, a group of like 80 students that I can force to learn math. I don't
That's
need to
true.
force other people out here to learn
Just
math.
stream that. It's fine. And then, like,
Just stream class, stream tutorial. That'd be kind of funny. Why not?
Anything.
make everyone
these
sign
days.
waivers and be like, look, you sign this waiver, and if you don't come to class that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Eric,
What's up?
I feel like me and you are in the same mindset, or maybe like thought process for like when it comes to streaming, because like I know you stream every so often, and by every so often I mean like super rarely. And like I'm also in that same like predicament. But is it more because you feel like you watch too many other people, or you don't have? I know you have enough
It's okay.
games because you have a lot of unfinished ones.
Why, like,
and,
why I don't do it, or
Yeah, or like you usually don't have the time, or you always tired. Or...
it's it's more of a personal thing, I guess, because it's like I feel like I get too nervous and I feel like I just kind of ramble on and I just don't like. It's more of like I'm like it's a scary thing, I guess, type of thing. It's like I feel like I have to like really put myself out there and be like, hey, like let's do this shit, like fuck yeah, like this is good because I can banter off you guys and talk to you guys, and
Yeah.
I like that. This makes it makes this super easy because usually I'd be like, yeah. But like I'm able to actually have kind of bounce off of you guys when I'm streaming. I feel like I'm doing that by myself. I feel like I'm doing that a lot, and it motivates me to continue doing it. So like I'll do it, and then I'll stop, and then I'll do it, and then I'll stop. It's mostly like a constant battle with myself in terms of being motivated to do it and
'Cause
not
I
being
know,
so like, hard on myself about it.
The last couple of streams I saw you play, you were playing with other people, which I imagine helped because like it was you were able
No,
to
for
talk
sure.
to those people.
I was just about to ask that. Have you ever thought of streaming just like Overwatch or something like that, like a game where
He's
you
played
and your
Siege,
Discord?
I think he's played Overwatch before.
I have, and I did Apex. The last game I think I did was Apex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
guess I
those
did that
streams are fun. I have a lot of fun playing on those. Like, I never do streams like that on my own channel, but I will do them all the time on other people's channels, and I have a blast.
Whether
doing
he
them.
knows it or not.
Whether I, yeah,
He'll figure it out an
often
hour and a
unaware.
half in. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Dude,
Wait,
honestly, I
Bro,
think your stream
are you
was probably.
streaming this?
I think your stream was probably the first one I remember actually watching Overwatch on.
Nice.
You posted about it. I was like, oh, I want to see Eric stream. Like, this is cool. And you were playing Overwatch, and I remember thinking, like, I have no what is going on here, but you look like you're having fun.
I mean, I look like I'm having fun, but inside I hate myself because I'm playing Overwatch, even though I love it, but I hate it so much. But yeah, no.
I remember like watching you play that. I was like, man, I should really play this game someday. It looks like a lot of fun. But that I think honestly, I think your stream was the first time I'd actually watched gameplay of it.
Nice. Awesome.
So
Because I know
can't
you,
remember.
didn't you just get like a 2080 or something?
Oh yeah, I got a 2080. Yeah.
Oh damn!
I feel like
Yeah.
you having that and like not using it to the fullest potential is like kind of like a
Yeah.
crime of like.
Yeah, I do need to. I mean, yeah, I do need to use it more. I mean, I'm playing Gears, so that's using the 2080 to its potential, I guess. But yeah, I probably should. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, even when I was driving home today, I was like, I should like maybe this will be like a reason to be like, okay, like I can do it again. Like it's not that scary. It's like you're talking. I mean, if at the end of the day, when you're talking to chat, you're talking to friends.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
ultimately,
Yeah,
if they're
sure.
not being, yeah,
I think it was either our first or second cast that we were talking about like tips for people who wanted to start or like started and like couldn't like stay with it, and it was just like one, play a game that you know a lot about. So then like we brought it to the point like play like Rory would do Oblivion because he knows the lore for that game, so he can go on and talk about that game for days on end.
Mhm.
And like no one necessarily needs to be in the chat, but like as long as you were talking, it seems more inviting. So it's like as long as you're like talking about, it doesn't have to be about the game. You can just be talking about random shit, and as long as it's not like dead silent or like awkward silences at that point in time.
no, yeah, for sure. And that's the one thing that I'm worried about because I mean, I'm the type of person that likes to nitpick literally everything that I do personally, like in terms of interactions socially.
Mhm.
So like when I'm streaming, I'll be like, fuck, I'll be like just like concentrating on the game, and I'll be like, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm being so cool. Fuck.
You're right. Yeah, yeah. That's another thing. Like games, I find it to be a killer to stream games. I have to really concentrate on.
Yeah.
Like games
Mhm.
like Elder Scrolls are perfect because most of the time you just walking around listening to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but yeah, focus games. Like I really admire people who stream like I was always really impressed. Like Trev streamed like DMC5 a couple times. And like when I'm streaming DMC5 or when I'm playing DMC5, I'm like super focused and I'm like, I don't want anyone to see me play this like I'm trash. Yeah. And I'm just like trying to get better. But like, and some people do that all the time, right? There are people who literally many channels I know of who just stream Souls games.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yeah.
speed running is probably one of the more focused, intense things you can do for streaming because like you have to do specific things at every point in time. You have to memorize routes. You have to do certain
Yep.
things to get things to happen. And like they look over at chat every like 10 to 15 minutes depending on what game it is.
Exactly. Yeah. My roommate's watching Demon Slayer right now. Yeah. Hear it, but you guys can't hear it, but I can hear it. Just every now and again, when there's like a little like silence in the conversation, I just hear like some Japanese man yelling something.
I think another tip for you, Eric, would be so I know Paka when she would stream Arc or like really any game, she just be in Discord and have her Discord open. Like people would just join randomly and like talk to them. So it also initiated and invited that conversation as well. So it wasn't solely like it was just you who was streaming. It was like, oh, now they have another source of like not entertainment but like another like audio source,
Yeah.
just so that it's not like all the pressure's on you. It's like, oh shit, I can't be focused on this too much. I gotta like look and talk to people and
Yeah, and I think that's what it is too, because it's like I almost take it like I'm presenting in front of a class, and I fucking always hate doing that. So it's like I get super nervous, and I'm like, fuck. But I think when I did go a whole month, because I was like, I'm gonna fucking get to affiliate, let's do this. And so I went a whole month where I streamed like twice or three times a week, and like I was getting used to it. And then at one point I was just like, and at one point I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stream next week. I'm gonna do it again, and then I just didn't. And I think I'm pretty sure it's been since then. It was the last time I streamed was around the time I got affiliate.
I think the last
maybe
time that
like-
I saw you, yeah, it was probably Apex. Now I think when you were playing with Kyrie, I think.
Yeah, that was a couple. Let me see if I have the VOD still up. It was like fucking a while ago. Past broadcast. There it
I
is.
think I watched that one, or I've dropped in for a little bit of that one too.
But yeah, it was like probably May, I think, because I think it was when or it might be around the time season 2 probably dropped. So maybe like a one-off a couple. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I know if I consistently did it, I could get into the groove of it and do it and like not be so nervous about it. But then like once I fall out of it and I try to get back into it, I'm just like, fuck, I gotta like people are gonna think I'm boring. I'm just like sucks.
I mean,
like,
it's also something you definitely want to make sure you know you want to do, because like
yeah, no, and I do, and that's the thing is I actually do want to do it. I just it's hard, you know. It's hard to motivate yourself. Like I guess not to get into life stuff too, but like it took me 5 years to motivate myself to go back to school, and I'm finally doing it. and I'm like sick. I'm like really happy that I'm back in school right now. But it took me a long time to finally tell myself to do it. So it's like it's a thing where I have to like figure out a way to be like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna stick to this, and I'm gonna continue doing it. So
I remember.
Right.
We'll get to what Trinsic asked in a minute. But,
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I remember back in the day you played Firewatch and then Half-Life, and I thought you did really good.
Oh shit, Half-Life's awesome.
I thought you did really good with those streams because I remember the Firewatch one. That was a really good one because you were like really active, and I remember we were making Wendigo jokes and like Until Dawn jokes, and then
that's when Until Dawn came out. Yeah,
I was quoting just like Portal all the time, and you're like, this is like related to it or whatever. So I think those games like, well, especially Half-Life, because I know you're a huge fan, so like you know all the like backstory and like you can explain it. Because I remember I was asking you questions and you were like, oh yeah, this is what happened and stuff. So I think that was easier for you.
Yeah.
Than like Apex or something where it was like focus heavy and
for sure. And then I think one thing with that too is I was able to like, I think it's easier. I think it's probably also easier if I'm playing a story heavy game. I guess not story heavy game, but something like that where I can actually just say stupid shit about what I'm doing. Because like I would just say stupid shit about what I was doing, and I think it was like because I was able to just I was like, oh dude, I'm doing this, and then like there was one point where I was like trying to shoot one of those like long leg guys, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this right now. All right, no, okay, right now. And then like I kept fucking it up, and then my friend was watching. He's like, "You're fucking stupid." I'm like, "I know." So like I'm able to just say stupid shit about what I'm doing in those type of games. So I probably should do more stuff like that. But yeah, because like if I've played Overwatch by myself and I've tried to stream it, I'm just kind of always quiet.
Yeah, I think that's why I used to do it all the time. Like, cause like the past like 9 streams or whatever, I think I've been like. Maybe just Overwatch. I had like a couple one-offs, but majority like I didn't want to turn into an Overwatch streamer, but that was just the most fun I would have because like I'd have all these other people playing with me and it'd just be like raw conversation.
Overwatch streamer.
So it was definitely more easy.
See right here, dude.
It was more easy to do it that way than like doing a solo game and like sitting there like.
Yeah, so I think I'll probably now. Because I've been playing on PS4 more consistently with some of my PS4 friends, I think I might like try to push myself to just be like, all right, just broadcast. Like I don't have to really pay attention. I just kind of let it happen. I know we're funny because we always say stupid shit. Like that's how like we say really dumb stuff. Like that's just how funny that we are. So like I know we always say pretty funny shit, and I could just stream it. I just need to just do it,
And then another tip could be like if you're worried about like looking like you're freaking out or whatever, like you just don't use a face cam, and then like it becomes that much easier because they can hear your voice, and then you don't have to like mentally think like look over and like, oh shit, like I need to be doing this.
Yeah, true. Yeah, make a good point right there.
Trinsic had a really good question. It's hard to stay consistent as a streamer. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Consistent in what way? Like schedule wise, energy wise.
Schedule wise, hell yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Energy wise, yes.
Yes. Cause I mean, I'm not one of those people who have a schedule. I just like go live whenever. I just like randomly would be like, all right, I'm gonna go live and like randomly end.
See, like for me, I would love to have a schedule, but there's so many people now, especially young people, who have very inconsistent schedules. Especially for retail workers who maybe like every week their schedule is going to just change,
Exactly, yeah.
Because that fluxes depending on like income and like what
you never know. Like, am I going? Yeah, and it's like, am I going to work on the weekend this weekend, or am I not? Like, so you can't exactly say, yeah, everybody, I'm gonna stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. You'd love to be able, like I would love to be able to do that, but I like for me, for instance, I don't have that kind of set schedule where I know for sure that every day I can have like a good 4 hours, for example, every maybe every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. So that's for me, like that's the inconsistent part, and also because since my schedule is so inconsistent. Sometimes I work really early on days. Sometimes I don't work like really early. Sometimes I have late shifts. And so because of that, like energy wise, it can be inconsistent also. Cause like I could maybe get home from work and I'll think I'm really tired, or somebody else is streaming and I'm not going to stream today, even though I'd like to.
Yeah.
So, I think definitely, Go ahead, Roy.
For me, in my case, like the biggest thing I'm looking forward to about not being a student after April is being able to go back to an actual schedule. Because like a schedule when you're a student and like people are giving you, like Eric, you mentioned that you've gone back to school now. Like when people give you assignments and stuff like that, it's unpredictable. You don't know how long it's going to take. And it's like, you know, that really like, and I used to think of myself as like a really scheduled streamer. Like I was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays every time. And then now it's like, what is my life anymore? And then, you know, and like, I have to say, like, because of my experience, like this past week, some of you guys know I didn't have like acceptable internet.
Yeah. Well, the week before that you were sick, and then you couldn't. So then
I was
like,
sick.
The week you tried, it was
then
like
the second I got better, my
like,
internet
some
fucked
illegal
up.
shit's going on. We're gonna cut your
Yeah,
internet.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So my internet was really bad for like 5 days. Eric, my upload speed was 0.02 megabits per second.
Disgusting.
Like
That's
it was
right.
awful.
Disgusting.
Like talking to Morgan in the night, like sometimes our Discord call would just give up. Discord would be like, "Fuck you, you're not talking right now."
You just become a robot, and you're like, "Oh no."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh my
you know
god,
the
I was
signs.
we were watching Overwatch League, and I was talking about something, and then I'm like, "Wait, Rory, are you still there?" And then all of a sudden, I got a message from him, and he's just like, "The call failed," and I'm like, "Oh, I've been talking for like 2 minutes, and I didn't even realize."
and like it's all back to normal now. But like when you're like relying on being able to stream, like when it's something you're looking forward to, like I'm gonna stream today because like my only consistent day now is Saturdays or whatever, right? So it's like I'm gonna stream today on Saturday because that's my day, and you can't do that. It really does throw your life out of whack.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't do this thing, and now it bothers me, and now my viewers have to wait another week.
Especially
And,
if you
like,
look forward to it as well. I imagine
Oh my
like
God,
if you're
yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna do this today, and then you suddenly can't. It's like, fuck, like.
I was so pumped. I was like, all right, I just finished an assignment. I'm ready to go. Like, we're going to do like a 5-hour Skyrim stream. It's like, nope, get fucked. We put up surveillance equipment and your internet won't work now. Long story, trust me. Morgan knows all the lore about that.
I saw that article, and I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, we got to see a video on it.
Yeah, me and Morgan watched like a 40-minute video.
That's too long. I would
About
have
it.
watched like the first 2 minutes, like, all right.
Oh my god, it was just all like up close and personal with these people at Focos.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah. Trinsic, it's a real fucking long story. Someday I'll write like an essay about it or something.
Like the weekend where everything got fucked up in my life because
Yeah.
of a big, stupid, giant party.
Yeah. Suffice to say, so Trinsic, the long and short of it is there was a party in my neighborhood basically, and about 20,000 people showed up.
Oh, geez.
That's not an exaggeration, by the way. 20,000.
That sounds like when the Raptors won the World Cup, and like.
The World Cup.
The
What?
World Cup. Oh man.
I didn't know the term for it,
Wow.
but I knew you guys would understand what I was saying, so I was like,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
it.
Basically, this party was like the worst frat party you could ever think of on a school campus.
Like Project
times
X?
like 10.
It was real bad. There were a lot of people jumping from trees to roofs that a lot of people missed. Well, it's actually like
yes,
if you
well,
want to
yeah.
look it up, FOCO is the name of it, FOCO, and it's in London, Ontario. It's every year. Eric's looking it up right now. I could tell because his face just got a whole lot brighter.
Dude.
It's like a light went on right in front of his face.
That's a Google search page.
Nah, dude. It's just. Yeah, it is.
Some of us, I know you've had some scheduling problems recently, just because you've been going out and out of town and whatever. But the days you are here and back, I know you've been busy as well, so like I know that affected your consistency.
Like I'm consistently inconsistent.
That's good because at least you're consistent in something.
Yeah, I mean, I realized too that I end up following, like they are sort of similar. Like it's not like you can count on everybody to be on right at 9 p.m. or right at.
That's proven by when we got on today, almost 20 minutes late. But you know,
Yeah.
As much as I would love to be on the schedule, I think I think a lot of people also just you just kind of log in and see who's on, and then if they're on, you watch them. If they're not, it's not like I'm thinking, oh man, you know what I mean? So I don't know. So I think I kind of also approach it that way, and like I'm pretty loose and chill about like who I follow. I think that's kind of like how I. Yeah, I think also like this past weekend I got sick, and so
Everyone was getting sick.
Everybody.
yeah, and it wasn't because of traveling, because I woke up
Fucking
the day
Rory just like infecting everyone.
we were gonna fly out, and I had like a sore throat, and so I was like, oh man, like this usually happens. Like I get a weekend off and I get sick that weekend, but yeah. So even like today, like I was thinking about, I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to really technically stream a game today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it tomorrow because we're playing Monster Hunter World. So I'm like, if I don't stream today at all until like next week.
I feel like that kind of forces your hand too when you're in like a time crunch like that. It's like if I don't do it now, then it's like I lose the opportunity. I know I can't do it later.
So it was totally random. Like I was gonna stream Witcher 3 today, and then I had been talking to Zeus about playing Red Dead. I'm like, stream. But I was like, huh. Like I've like enough energy to do this, even though I've been on a juice cleanse. So like, let's do this. And so I just texted. I was like, hey, do you mind? Or message him. I was like, do you mind if I stream this? He's like, yeah, sure. So I was able to do that today because honestly, I think it had been almost a week since I did The Witcher.
Yeah.
Week until I could do it again. So I think it works to an advantage sometimes, where it's like if to then just being able to kind of on a whim be like, no, I'm going to do this. But it kind of also can work against in some ways not having a regiment at a time. So there's pros and cons, I think, to both of them.
No, definitely.
Sure.
But I think that's why I enjoy not having a schedule, because like once you turn into like having a schedule, like not to say like as long as it's under more than half the week, I feel like it's not too much of a burden. But like if you have one where it's like 5 days a week, I feel like sometimes you can like really get like not like dragged down or
Burned
exhausted.
out.
Yeah, burned out.
Totally.
Yeah. So
I
you're
couldn't
sitting there,
manage
like,
it.
Day 4, it's like, man, I really don't want to like
it's like when
with me, it's
go
like
out.
I don't have one, so like if I wanted to, I could stream at 6 in the morning one day and then like go for 8 hours, and then like the next day do like a stream at like midnight, and that'd be that. It wouldn't be like anything.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you hang out with people, like you can only, I guess, take, at least for me, I can only take so much social interaction before I'm just like,
Welcome back, Ray.
too exhausted for this, you know. So it's kind of, I would say it's kind of similar to that, where it's like you're talking a lot for 5 days a week, and sometimes it just gets tiring, you know.
Yeah. Because like we talked about this in the first or second cast too. It's like if you aren't like feeling it, the people in your chat will be able to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is an element too of kind of like pushing through that, because like honestly, like today, like I really physically a week. So I was like, this is probably not the best condition to jump on stream right now. But like I almost wanted to do it almost as a distraction, so I wouldn't be thinking about how hungry I am.
Sure, yeah.
So, and then like it was crazy because like the 3 hours flew by and I didn't really think about hungry. Like I didn't think about like the fact that I wasn't. It was actually kind of invigorating in some ways, but like I almost feel like you have to like
some
like mental barrier of like, should I do this? Should I not do this? And then like once you jump into it, it's like really fun. And
definitely, and like I think sometimes streaming can be a good distraction from things. Like
Yes,
it's
definitely.
like if you like, I found like I remember like if you like come home from I remember one time I came home from an event that was like a bad event, and I was like, okay, I need to talk to someone who isn't.
Was it at
like,
Rope Walk?
Oh God, no! Thankfully, no. I came home part where I didn't get stabbed and died.
Oh, okay.
But like, and it was like, oh, that event sucked, but now I get to stream, so it's cool, and now I can hang out with some cool people, right? It's getting late.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's
That's why Ray was
12:50
like,
here.
y'all are still talking. Wow.
But good conversations are being had.
Yes.
That's true.
We hit our goal of hour 3 hour mark.
Yeah.
We
that's
always
we
do.
did, yeah.
Or an
but
hour, 3 hour.
I have some plans tonight, so I gotta get going to those.
Do?
I do, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so
These two gonna hang out.
alright, so for
Is that
one,
what's happening? Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
thank you for being on this week, Eric.
Yeah, Eric,
Thank you
thanks.
for having me.
Yeah,
I had a
thank you
really
so
good time.
much.
Meeting you. This is
Hopefully,
actually my
hopefully it
first
was fun
time
for you.
speaking.
Hopefully
Yeah, of course, it's good meeting you
this will
too.
give you more incentive or more insight on what you could do for your streams, and hopefully motivate you to stream more often.
Yeah, I definitely am gonna take some of that stuff to heart because I really do want to do it, and thank you. I appreciate with all the tips you guys had.
Do we have do you know if Decker's on or if anybody else is on that?
Yeah,
we
here,
should-
let me check it out here. We
AJ is
have
actually on too.
AJ's on? Hold on.
He was at least.
Oh yeah, AJ's on playing Overwatch. You're right.
If you guys
let-
want to give him
Is
a
he
ring.
still on?
I think he just got on.
He only got on a little while ago, so I can go ahead
Oh,
and
okay,
pop in
excellent.
and
Yeah,
check.
yeah. Well, we can pop on over and raid AJ. We'll be back next Wednesday.
Yes,
Mhm.
next Wednesday, and
Do we have a
that's
guest?
the last Wednesday.
Do we have a guest? Is Tony coming on?
Tony said that he needed to be alerted in advance, and I don't know how far in advance, because I know
I
he
can talk
was
to him about
packing for like New York Comic Con, or he was gonna go to New York Comic Con, so I didn't know. But I think
Yeah,
that's
Morgan,
usually
you
over the
figure
weekend.
Right.
if he'll be good for that. And
Yeah, I can
we'll
talk
be
to
back
him.
next Wednesday with at least.
Yeah, we
the
may have a
usual
guest, we
cast
may
of
not.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will be here at least.
Yeah.
We will at
These
least be
people.
here. Yeah. And then I think like eventually we're gonna actually migrate these back to Friday.
Yeah.
Well, next week is what? Next week is not the last Wednesday one, or is it 2 weeks from now? This is the last.
Next
Wednesday
week
one?
is the last Wednesday one.
Oh, okay, so next week is the
until
last.
at least until Laracon. So that's
Oh yeah, but that's
Yeah, so I think we
that's
can do
wild
Friday
away.
the 18th. Like I think
Yeah.
we'll do next Wednesday the 9th and Friday the 18th.
Yeah.
Which is sweet because I have a midterm on the 17th, so I would not like to do a podcast the night before my midterm.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that before. It's definitely better
Yeah,
after.
it's an after. It's a celebration.
Hey,
we can ask you like, how do you
chat
think you
can
did?
help you study, dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chat can help me study. The-
chat will just quiz
And
you
Walt
on
could
some
be here for
topic they
this
don't
one
know.
because
Just-
normally
just give him the
Normally it's
flashcards.
a time he can't.
the
Yeah, we should try to get Walt on here, but that's gonna be a major
Yeah.
hurdle because he's in a completely
zone.
different time zone.
Well,
We'll figure something out.
when the season is over, he'll be able to.
I imagine
The,
it'd be easier once Roy's not.
Hey, get him in for a
doing,
special
what you
podcast
call it.
during comic
After
during,
BlizzCon,
because
after
he'll be in
BlizzCon, we
America.
should do a
Yeah.
post BlizzCon.
that's a great idea.
cast.
And Trev, you're 100% correct. The day I stop being a student in April is the day when my schedule starts being a real schedule, or a fake schedule because I can do whatever I want.
What a life.
Awesome, Walt. We'd be
would
thrilled to
love
have
that.
you here. Thank you so much, everybody, for dropping by and hanging out. We had a host today.
Yes,
which
from video
was
game
really cool.
_ bang. I
Yeah,
don't
very good
think
to
they
see
said
that.
anything. They were doing what we were doing though. They were doing podcast stuff, or not
That's right.
podcast. They were doing gaming talk shows.
Mm.
So that was cool because that was the first time we got rated by some random group.
Totally, yeah. So that was really nice to see. So we'll see you guys, or as many of you as can make it next Wednesday.
Should be same time.
This is his
Yep.
thing, right?
Yes,
Huh?
that is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to do that the one time I tried
Yep.
to raid him.
Yeah, and then it was
The
like
other
going to some
It is a
random
random
chat, and we're like,
ecliptic.
what?
We did
Yeah,
not
it was
raid
not
him.
online.
That one random ecliptic.
Maybe we got them to
definitely
start
got
streaming because
some
like they got
followers
rated
that day,
and then
though.
people were following.
One day
and
we
they're like,
should-
hey, I
You
should
were
start
One
doing
day,
this now.
Trev, we should raid Melissa
Just random.
Oh, that's a good idea.
just to apologize for banning her
Like,
on all the channels.
look, you can't go to these 5 channels. I'd explain it, but
Sorry.
don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
So,
But okay, Eric,
yeah,
thank
we'll
you so
be,
much.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
No,
So
thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I'll be happy to be part of this again if you'll have me.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. Yeah, 100%.
All right. So everyone, take care, and we'll see you all next Wednesday. At
Bye, guys.
depending on
Bye.
either earlier or the same time.
Hope.
So, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.